Hey, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the final calf update for a little while. After this show, I think we might even have a week and a half off. We'll see. But we got a good show for you tonight. With OAX just around the corner, for me, it's less than a week away. For many of you, we've got 8 days, if you want to count it like that. But a lot of stuff going on in the next few days here. But yeah, all good. But I saw everybody was debating James Bond artwork and movies before we got started here. Always something to talk about in the chat before we get these shows started. So today we're going to kick things off with a couple people who've been on the channel before. We've got Steve and Lauren from the Korshak Collection, and they're going to be exhibiting at OAX again. So we want to kind of kick things off. Probably one of the last times you're going to get to hear about OAX, not until the show happens, but I always enjoy talking with them both. So let me bring in both Steven and Lauren.
Hello there. Hi, Bill. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. How about yourselves?
We're excited. Looking forward to the show.
As are Kazra and I and the rest of the team, and I think most of the people in the audience.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, exactly. We're just hoping for warm weather like we had last year.
Well, it's been up and down here. It's 71 day, and well, you're in Florida, and then 50 the next. So yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, no, other than that, things are good. We got a lot of last, loose ends to wrap up here or there, but other than that, we're as ready as we're going to be for next week.
Well, that's
And
great.
it's good to have you back. I see a piece of art behind you that I think you're bringing with you to OAX.
Yeah, there's two pieces back there. One is the Hildebrand brothers Balrog from Lord of the Rings, and it's that pivotal moment when Gandalf says, "You shall not pass," and he's got his staff right there, and the bridge is exploding. We're excited, especially since to honor Greg, who's, as we all know, has passed away recently. So that'll be really nice to bring that to the show. And then we're also bringing a really great Frank Frazetta, Swords of Mars. I think you can see it right there. But we have some better images that Lauren sent to you too. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Edgar Rice Burroughs Frazetta. It's right at the height of his career. It's a really great one, and we're going to be bringing that as well. So those will be in the exhibition room, and then we're also bringing some pieces into our dealer's room. So we have a number of pieces. People always want to buy stuff from the collection, and unfortunately, the collection's not for sale. But we have some really high quality golden age illustration artwork that is not from the collection that I can maybe let Lauren talk a little bit about.
Yeah, Bill, do you have that St. John Chessman and Mars painting? I'd love to pull that up.
Let's see here. I know I've got all the slides.
Golub.
There's the Hildebrandt one we were just looking at. Let's see here. I know I've got it in here.
Yeah, we're really
that was it.
Oh, I just passed it, didn't I?
Black
Sorry.
and white.
There it is.
There you go. Yeah, no, we're really excited because we've got a wonderful exhibition space for Korshak and tons of pro panel wall space. So we're getting to bring some larger pieces. So it'll be a nice showing. But for Shasta Phoenix, this is J. Allen St. John piece. This is for the Chessmen of Mars, the fifth book in the Edgar Rice Burroughs John Carter series. And I just think the monochromatic is just really great. This one doesn't feature John Carter, that's Gahan, and you can see that this witch-like character is kind of putting a spell on him. But this piece is a monumental scale. We'll have it at the booth with us. It shows so well. Please stop by and check it out.
Yeah, this piece, Bill, early on, St. John was competing with N.C. Wyeth and Frank Schoonover to get the Edgar Rice Burroughs account. And so these early pieces, like this Chessman piece that we're bringing for sale, is large and museum quality. That's what St. John was competing against. As he started later on in his career, he started doing pulp art. His paintings were smaller. They were more colorful and garish. But this is really the prime of his career, and it's just a magnificent piece. It really is.
What was the size on this one again?
Lauren? Do you know?
It's like 28 inches wide and about 37 tall. So nice
Oh, wow.
size.
Yeah, and it's on board, on canvas. Um,
No, no.
no,
This is on artist board.
artist board. Okay, excuse me.
Artist board, yep.
Yeah, but it's very painterly. It's very painterly.
No, it's beautiful. I'm more familiar with more of his color work, right? But so to see something just primarily in grays, I think it's lovely. And at that scale, it's going to be great to see in person. And you guys are going to be you have stuff in the special galleries. Of course, you have an exhibit there, and then you're also in the IAX room. I think you're booth number 3 in that room. So as people enter that room, you'll be the third booth on the left, depending on how they are entering that area. So a little different setup because we have the entire facility this year, whereas last year we were kind of confined to one room and a few special galleries.
Yeah.
The Balrog will be in that room as well, right, Bill, with the Hildebrandt booth?
It will. Sort of right across from you on the opposite wall where the Hildebrandt Memorial will be, it will be hanging right there. So you'll be able to look at it the whole time you're in there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a really large Hildebrandt, and it's the twins. And there were great stories about how Greg and Tim would work on it, and one of them would go to the restroom, and the other one would just finish doing what the other brother had had started. Um, Fill it in, so to speak, because they were identical twins. But it's a master of the two of them working together. Yeah, you also had there a really nice Michael Kaluta that was, I think, one or two before this. That's going to be in the exhibition.
Did I pass it already? I have. There
There
we
it
go.
is. There it is. Yeah, that's called Solo. And it's from his high period. It's when he was in the sharing the studio with Jeff Jones and Bernie Wrightson, and they all had the studio together. So Barry Windsor Smith, and it's exquisite. I mean, it's comic, but at the same time, it's got a comic feel to it. But at the same time, it's kind of high art with the detail that's in it.
No, it's beautiful. We love his work around here. We usually get to feature at least one piece of his every month. Not as nice as this though. Usually the comic book illustration, but a color piece is phenomenal. So that's going to be great to see in person too.
Yeah. Let's see. There's that's a very famous Michael Whalen.
Mhm.
It's an Elric cover. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lauren. Sword of the
It's
Bane.
the Weird of the White Wolf.
Word of the White Wolf. There we go. Yeah. And as Elric kills and slays the demon, his sword sucks up the life force out of the demon into his sword. It's a great piece that Whalen did there.
Oh yeah, without question. Very striking. Those reds and oranges just made this piece stand out. Even as a cover. And so somebody said Charles Vess should have been part of their studio. Well, he was around during that time. He was hanging out with them a lot, but he was a rather young gentleman.
Yeah.
As were they when they started the studio.
The neat thing about this Whalen is that this was a period of time when Michael Whalen was doing paintings that were primarily in one color. This was primarily red. He would do he did a Mastermind of Mars that we had, that I think we exhibited last year, that was primarily in blue. Another Mastermind of Mars primarily in green. He liked to he was influenced by Edmund Dulac. And Dulac he had a blue period and would primarily paint in blue. It's a quick, funny story that we exhibited at a museum in Orlando, and Michael Whalen came and was one of the guests of honor at the museum. And afterwards, we had a party at our house, and we were talking, and he had to go to the restroom. And then a few minutes later, he excused himself to go to the restroom, and a few minutes later to the restroom, and a few minutes later and finally I said to him, "Michael, are you okay?" And he said, "You don't understand. one of the most important Edmund Dulocks of my career, you have Full Fathom 5, which influenced me into realizing how a painter can use one color to predominate an image. And I had to go see it. I'm not really going to the restroom. So,
Was the art in the restroom, or was it
no,
just
it was
down the hall?
just right around the corner from it.
Sure. Well, that's good. Yeah, Michael's produced a lot of great images in his career, and yeah, no, this is a striking one. And this will be in the special gallery, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So when you have your setup at the show, is the plan, will all the artwork that's in the IX room at booth 3, is it going to be all for sale, or was some of it going to be for more display? How are you both approaching the the actual exhibition hall itself?
There's a separation of church and state, so we'll have Korshak Collection in the exhibitions space with Marcus next door, and then at booth 3 we will have Shasta Phoenix, which is purely artwork for sale through our company Shasta Phoenix Art. As far as the Korshak collection goes, I tried to just pick big, striking images, leaned a little bit into horror and some black and white. I'm going to bust out the Army of the Dead, which is a really large black and white by Vladislav Blinda, a charcoal drawing that you're going to definitely want to hang out with for a while. We've got Harry Clark, The Facts in the Case of Valdemar, Jim Burns, Profiteer. So I just went really fun this year. We are bringing a few pieces back that just got a lot of positive attention, but hopefully exposing people to some really exceptional artwork. My personal favorite, Jose Segres, I'm going to have his War of the Worlds there. Obviously the Whalen, and as you saw, the Frazetta and the Kaluta, but also going to shake it up with some Sidney Syme work and Royal Klinkle, Robert Lawson, maybe artists that we're not as familiar with. So the exhibition hall will be just purely for your gazing and viewing pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Roy Krenkel War of the Worlds that will be for sale at our Shasta Phoenix booth.
I love Krenkel's work.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Jim Burns too. He's another one of my favorite artists still out there producing. So this is that's cool. I mean, I can't wait to see this stuff. I mean, as everybody knows, I really do love illustration art. Krenkel's always been one of my favorite illustrators. So seeing a piece like this in color from War of the Worlds, that's that'll be special to get to see this thing in person.
Yeah, that one's for sale that you're looking at right there. So it's a nice piece, and it's got a great provenance, being War of the Worlds. And that's you want to talk about the Golub, Lauren?
Sure. This is a late 50s cover for Dell Comics. This features Tarzan, and it's an alligator. I know it's supposed to be a crocodile, but the anatomy of this dinosaur is definitely gatorish. Golub starts out with Disney, doing color and working on films, and then transfers over into comic books. So I thought this would be a great piece to highlight here because of Orlando and gator wrestling, and obviously great comic art from the 50s. So this will also be for sale. And
the new movie that's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, why don't you talk about that?
Well, I mean, I'm not on the film, but Jason Momoa and Scarlett Johansson are going to do live action Tarzan, I guess, this year. It's going to come out, so that'll be pretty awesome.
I was not aware of that. But yeah, we got Gatorland down here, not too far away, and very, very appropriate for being in Florida. I've seen a few pieces. I've actually tried to win a few auctions that had alligators in them, and I haven't won one yet. But well, now that I'm down here in Florida, that's the perfect kind of comic art to hang on the wall, or an illustration piece that has an alligator on it. You got to have one.
Yeah, this is a good one.
So I did post the link too, so people can head over to shastaphoenixart.com to learn a little bit more about what you guys do over there in advance of getting to meet you at the show. And Kazra mentions in the chat the Froud painting in the collection is stunning.
Are we bringing that this year, Lauren?
We actually have two Brian Froud pieces in the Korshak collection, but no, neither of them are in the small selection that will be at OAX this year. But you can start a wish list, and I'll start putting together next year's collection. Okay.
There you go. That won't be too hard to do. I got the tour of Stephen's home, what, a little over a year ago, right, Stephen? And
Yeah.
yeah, every piece deserves to be in a museum.
Well,
And
thank you.
And we will have about 7 or 8 pieces that are going to be offered only to OAX attendees on that Saturday before they go live anywhere else. This is one of those pieces. So yeah, come stop by at the booth before I post it online.
Oh, we always like that. We're going to be sending out a mailing probably, if I can get myself together, tomorrow afternoon, asking all the exhibitors to kind of give us a list of the things that they're bringing, definitely things that people haven't either seen before or haven't seen in a while, so that we can kind of get together a punch list for people so they know, kind of start planning what they're going to do at the show. Give them an idea of where they want to go and what they want to see. So look for that, and if you get me something back by early next week, we'll be able to get that on the website and give everybody a kind of a taste of what they're going to be seeing when they go.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you guys and everybody that's coming to the convention.
Well, Ezra, we know there was a question on the Froud pieces. What are the pieces exactly, or do you not want to tell us what they're from?
They're from the land of Froud.
Okay.
It's a book, I believe, that Ballantine did just on Froud illustrations. It's a fantasy world, but a lot of the pieces are very similar to the Dark Crystal film. I don't know the exact history if those came before, and then as a result of that book, Jim Henson requisitioned Froud to do the film, or if it came after the film. But you'll see a lot of the trolls are very similar to Dark Crystal's the movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
You can see those people. We've put about 20% of our collection on Comic Art Fans. We also have a Korshak Collection website, and we're slowly putting things up on CAF. But if somebody wants to see the Froud, it's not on our CAF gallery. It's just KorshakCollection.com. They can see everything there.
I'll make sure I get that URL right now and get it in the chat, unless Kazra beats me to it. But he probably won't. Here we go. There we go. I got it in there. So
All
that's
right.
the Korshak Collection, and anybody can look you up on Comic Art Fans. You get premium member accounts, so it's very easy to go over to that page and browse that way too. But yeah, no, I mean, it's gonna be great. We, as you know, with the expansion, we have a whole room full of illustration artists and art collections. It's gonna be just exciting to kind of have a compartmentalized, view of the show in that way. And we have card art collectors in another area underneath the CAX rooms. And yeah, it's just going to be fun watching the show expand and getting to bring in a little bit of a more diverse collector base as well. I think that's going to be good for the show and good for all the genres of narrative arts that we're trying to focus on. And having you guys be a part of it, we're really fortunate that you're in Orlando. It makes it a little bit easier to get the work over to our to the hall and everything. So yeah, we lucked out having you right in our neighborhood.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we feel the same way, Bill. We love that you're right here in our backyard. It's wonderful.
And we think it's just a great addition, this show, to the field of illustration art. I mean, it's just it's becoming, if it isn't already, the premier illustration show in the country.
Well, we got our work cut out for us, but I agree with you. We have the potential is huge, and we've had a lot of positive buzz, and I think after this show, everyone will have heard about us at that point. That's last year was, as a first year show, it was a little difficult to kind of get the word out and try to have people have an understanding of what the expectations were for the show. But after 2 years, I think it'll be well understood the direction we're going in, and the desire for a show like this to be successful by both the exhibitors and the attendees. And yeah, it's gonna. I'm looking forward to year 3, and we haven't even gotten through year 2 yet. Yeah, I see a few things, but now no Wyeths, right? There was a question. No Wyeths will be brought to OAX.
Again, like Lauren said, if we get requests, we can bring the Wyeth. We were trying to bring pieces because a lot of the audience is comic based.
Right.
Some of them might not know who Wyeth is. So, somebody like Kaluta obviously is comic based, Frazetta, Hildebrand. We were trying to bring those pieces. But we've brought some that are not comic based. And slowly we're trying to, we'll bring things like we have the original cover for the Princess of Mars by Frank Schoonover. It's another really beautiful museum quality piece. We have an N.C. Wyeth, um, the story of Alan Quatermain, that again, maybe we'll bring next year. And if anybody wants to go on our Korshak website, Korshak Collection, just let us know and we'll be happy to bring some more pieces.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, Robert Berman in the chat says you guys are going to learn about Wyeth quickly, and that's true. If you don't already, yeah, that's like kind of I don't know. For me, I wanted to be able to paint like Wyeth when I was a kid. That's why I went to art school. To be honest, never lived up to that dream, but I tried as hard as I could. But yeah, no, again, this is going to be great. We're looking forward to it. Obviously, we have. A bit of setup and some other information to get squared away with you and a few other exhibitors, but it's all coming together really well. And I think I think we're going to have a wonderful time beginning next Friday, right, at the reception, and we'll see you there, right? I hope the both of you will be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it too.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I'm sure you guys have a little bit of work to do in advance of the show, as do we. But if there's anything you need, there's Tatiana and Kazra are just an email away, and you know how to reach me now too.
Okay. All right. Well, we can't wait.
Thanks, guys. See
All
you soon.
right. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. Yeah, no, that I love Lauren and Steven. It's going to be a lot of fun when we have them at the show again. And I was so fortunate to get the tour of Steven's home just to see all the artwork on the wall. I could see why Waylon wanted to go to the bathroom numerous times just to go back and look at certain things, because there was a lot of artwork that I would have loved a second opportunity to see. And I'm going to get that right at OAX in well, I guess it's 9 days from today. But either way, it's right around the corner. So yeah, so there we have that. So today will be a short show. I can tell you that. I've even primed Chuck, Chris Snorek, not Chuck, for a shorter show tonight, just because there's it's kind of a short news week, but we have I got some other things I got to wrap up tonight before I can even get done. Jason thinks it's lies. I could bring Jason on here and we'd be on the show until 3 a.m. or something like that. But thank you, Kazra. I'm in complete agreement with you on that that announcement. But I do have to apologize for everybody. Last night it was odd. I think there was something in the water last night in Central Florida, because it turned out that Kazra had internet issues about an hour prior to mine started, and his lasted about when his ended, mine started. I mean, right around 9:45, my internet cut off, leaving Anthony and Jason all to their lonesome, and we could not, we couldn't do anything. And finally, as far as getting it rebooted, ended up being that there was some damage to a line somewhere nearby that brought down the whole area. So it ended up being that Gwen was able to tether herself to her phone using it as a hotspot, and we were able to kind of show the slides slowly, but by and large, we were dead in the water. And that has only happened like once before. So I felt terrible that we left everybody in the lurch, but fortunately I was able to get James into the studio, and he was able to handle shutting off the show once it was all done. And I have not had a chance to go back and watch it, but Jason has told me that he still had a good time, and apparently Jason won. There you go, Jason. If it's true, that's wonderful. Congrats, Jason. You knocked out a punch drunk Anthony Snyder, and Ashton number 2. Yeah, I heard that Anthony thought that James was my son, which we didn't even think about it, having Ashton pop in there. He probably could have, and that might have solved everything. But we did manage to get James into the studio, and he took care of everything for us. Um, but yeah, that was awful. And I do think it was the hat. I don't even know. I think I threw the hat out. I was so angry. I'm like, I'm never wearing this hat again. It is cursed. So thank you, Marcus, for sending us the hat from Hades, because it won't be worn again. Yeah, that was awful. Because yeah, I just start pacing. What am I going to do? I've got 2 guys in a studio that has no control over it. And I think when it happened, one of the slides was covering Jason at the time, so it was absolute mess. Tried Kazra was busy with something. I'm gonna wear the hat during the pub crawl. I can talk about the pub crawl. There's plenty of stuff to talk about with the OAX that I can talk about. I can't show you the program yet because it isn't fully done, but I know that at some point next week we'll be sending out an email to everybody who's got a ticket with some advance information about the program, previewing a few things that you haven't been able to see up until then. But yeah, Bub Crawl. I got an email from Rob about an hour ago, and he said that Adam Kubert should have the art done by tomorrow. So we might be able to see it. So, we're going to have mailings very regularly leading up to OAX, general ones that are exhibitor focused only, and some that are attendee focused only. So at some point, we'll get to tease the art for the Bub Crawl that Adam Kubert is working on. Gwen does always save the day. I don't know where I'd be without my amazing daughter. That's very true, Kezra. So so what's going on? This year, I can tell you about the auction a little bit. We have proxy bidding going on right now over at Comic Art Fans in our OAX gallery. And let me go ahead and get the link out there. You've probably already seen the mailings and things like that, but it never hurts to remind everybody that proxy bidding has begun. Yeah, I put that link in the chat. So that's to the main gallery. Right now I have 3 rooms set up. I did 2 phases of OAX artwork dropped in there. So there's well, you can see the links in the gallery room section. The first one's got 18 pieces in it. The next one's got 17. I also have a Hero Initiative only folder, which has 10 artworks in it. So those are the ones that will 100% have all the proceeds going to Hero. Anyone can proxy bid on these, and we've gotten several. And I have to tell you, the people who have sent in proxy bids, I apologize. I like to try to email you back right away saying it was received. That's on my to-do list tomorrow morning. So anybody who's placed a bid, I'm going to let you know that it was received, and just like I did last year. I just haven't been able to do it this year, but we have gotten several. We don't show what the proxy bids are. Effectively, what we want you to do is, especially if you're not attending, is give us your best bid. If there's a piece in there that you really want badly and you want it so bad you're willing to put a $10,000 bid on a piece that is going to end at $2,500, if there's no other bids on it, the starting bid is $1,000. It's going to start at $1,000 on the floor. It's just that probably me will be doing the proxy bidding for those people again, but I'll know that bidder has a bid of $10,000, and we'll just incrementally go up against the other bidders on the floor, with me placing the proxy bids for the person who bid 10,000 in that example. So that's like, for instance, last year the amazing Adam Hughes and Gerhard piece had a very high proxy bid on it, and we could have gone a lot longer with the bidding on that one. It was the high priced item of the show, and but that's how it went. We started it where we needed to. If there were 2 proxy bids, say if it was a $500 item and I've got a $1,000 proxy bid and a $2,000 proxy bid, we're going to start the bidding on the floor at $1,050, with the higher proxy bid being the one that gets us started. And the reason we're doing that is just to get us closer to the finished sale. We want to have a accurate, or the highest price we can as a starting point, to get us through the auction as fast as possible. I do expect, we've been saying 80 pieces, but more than likely, if every artist gets us a piece, we'll probably have closer to 90 pieces. And our goal is to be done by 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. This year. So that's to meet that goal, we really need to have good starting bid figures and be able to rush our way through it. I see Bob Layton's in the chat. Bob put 4 pieces in the auction. He's got 3 unpublished Valiant covers that he worked on, and a cover recreation to one of my favorite Iron Man issues ever, issue 150. So and again, I think the Iron Man cover either has 1 or 2 proxy bids on it already. So bottom line is there's going to be a lot of great artwork to look at. I can tell you that one of the things that we're changing for this year is we are going to have a widescreen TV versus a projector, which we've already picked up. Basically, I bought one for myself, not with the company money, with my own money, because we wanted to have a really nice one. And I'm like, all right, if it doesn't work, then I've got a big screen TV, and if it works, hallelujah. And we've got it's gonna be really cool. It's a nice, like, it's a 6-foot TV, but at the end of the day, it's 6 foot. It's 74 or 75 inches, whatever. Bottom line is, it's sharp. It's gonna be bright. And the other thing being that you're going to have a PDF that you're going to be able to download to your phone. The back of the badges has a QR code where you just scan it. It'll pull the PDF down to your phone. So you'll be able to go through the lots on your phone while it's being shown on the big screen TV while the auctioneers are handling the auction. If it was all right, Kazra. Well, when we need a second one for next year. But one of the cool ideas, and I'd love to take credit for this idea, but it was not my idea. It was actually Maureen's idea. So I have to give her kudos. When we kind of set the TV up last night, and we hadn't even turned it on. I didn't turn it on until today, but she was looking at it, and I'm like, gosh, I could probably get 100 feet from this TV, and I can still see that image, right? The height being like 40 inches, well, it's vertical. She's like, next year you got to figure out how to get the TV and flip it so that you can actually show it in the shape of a piece of art. And I'm like, well, I know they make these weird systems that you can have at conventions where they have these real expensive looking contraptions to do it, TV stands. And so at first I thought there's no way we're going to buy one, but then I looked, and you can actually buy TV stands that for rather cheap. So I bought one today. So one of the cool things that TV will be sitting up on the edge of the stage, facing the audience, and it will be set to a vertical format. So we will have it's a 5.5-foot image of the artwork being able to be seen from anywhere. It's going to look very slick, very professional, exactly what you would expect from us in a Year 2 show. So yeah. So yes, high five to Maureen, because I was like, boy, see, but that's just it. The wonderful thing right now is we have so many eyes on what we're doing that things that might get overlooked because some of us are like so focused on what's on the table in front of us. We have enough eyes that are in and focused on CAF and OAX and everything that ideas can come from a lot of different areas and make the show better. And that's one of them. It really, I mean, I can't admit this is going to look so slick. I mean, it's going to put it's not going to put Heritage Live auctions to shame, but come on, man. The idea of having a 6-foot screen oriented the way the art is that can be viewed in a room full of 500 to 700 people, that's going to be special. So very, very, very excited about that. Robert, you can film all the WTF you want at the at OAX, and we can do another show with you after the fact, of course. All you want, man. See, even Kazra says duh. I know when Kazra says duh that you've said something silly, because I've gotten a few duhs in the last few months. Deservedly so. Sydney Blumenthal, 1 week. Exactly, Sydney. It's very exciting. And I will tell everybody that, you've seen it, we've said it. Pizza is on the menu for the auction again. Now, just one, let me explain. Pizza is on the menu, but we are also going to have smash burgers and fries. So, but the way we're doing it with the pizza, we're not doing it's not all pizza. The pizzas are going to be coming out in smaller waves, so they're cooked fresh. Unlike the ones that happened last year where they cooked them and then they put them under heat lamps and they ended up being distasteful, even though I never tried one. I mean, pizza's pizza at the end of the day, but the pizza will be better. Promise you that. Smash burgers, Kazra and I went in and got to, the head chef made them for us and came out and sat with us while we ate them. So he made sure that we were happy with it. And we were. So that was good. And now you'll have French fries with those, and enough to go around. It's not going to be like your dinner, but it'll fill up anybody who wants to eat, have something to eat after the show. And there's an open bar, of course. I mean, I probably should have said that first. Open bar at the auction as well. So it's on, man. It's on, like we really wanted to up the game a bit, and I think that presentation wise we've done that. I don't have the new auction paddles in here. Do I? No. Shoot. No, I do, actually. No, I'm not going to show you. If I showed it to you, we got to have some surprises. But the auction paddles look much better than last year, and everybody loved the auction paddles last year. But these ones they look even better. I promise you. You're gonna if I'll have a Sharpie probably in my pocket here, and I guarantee you everybody's gonna want us to sign them. So Team CAF, just get everybody to sign them after the auction. One thing. And I want to make sure those of you who go to the show, don't let me forget. We have to get a shot of everybody holding up their auction paddles. We didn't do that last year. And I wanted that image so badly, and I totally botched it and forgot to ask everybody to do that when we were doing the intro for the auction. So we're not going to forget that this year. Everybody has to participate. If they have an auction paddle, they got to hold it up. We want to show everybody that there is no art-related auction in all of comics or any art-centric industry in the narrative arts that compares to the number of fans and fervent, desired, collectors as we have here. So at the end of the day, that's what we're going to do. It'll be fun, lots of fun. Oh man, Kazer's giving them the weather update. High of 70 on Friday, I think is what they're talking about. Yeah, I keep looking at it too. 40% chance of rain. Hopefully that's more in the morning and not in the evening. So if we can get if we can get the rain to happen earlier, that would be better. So we'll see. It doesn't look like it's going to be 80 degrees every day like it was last year. I mean, we got really lucky. Yeah, we did. Chilly at night. It's supposed to go down to like 55. And at least for us down here in Florida, 55 is very cold. It is heavy coat weather when it gets to that temperature. Are the new auction paddles shaped like Modoc? No, but they should have been, Rich Cirillo, and that's a good idea for year 3. Not too bad. I mean, we could make the little, whatever exhaust coming out of his rear end. That could be the thing that you hold on to, because what else would you hold on to Modoc other than that? See, Kazer's promising it too. Um, but yeah, I think I put the link in there, but I could just show off a few of the pieces from the art auction as well. I have a tab open here. Let's see, where are you? Over here, over here. There we go. Let's see. So yeah, this is just the landing page. Yeah, we've got the Hembeck auction artwork that's available. Of course, it's not colored because we had JP digitally color that. The Mannix Abrera X-Men Master Mold piece. I'm going to be bidding on that one. I might have to give some. We've already gotten some proxy bids on that one, so I might have to figure. I might need a partner in my proxy bidding. I'm not sure who I'll have do that. Um, yeah, that's a good question. I'll work that out though. But either way, that we got that. We have this wonderful image by Nir Levy, and everybody knows Nir's work thanks to Tatiana over at TD Art Gallery. Looking forward to having Nir as a guest of the show this year. I've always loved his stuff, and it was great that he put together this wonderful Batman versus Joker Gladiator image. And then again, I don't know what's up with the Valiant cover stuff, but even Jimmy donated a Valiant cover from Solar, Man of the Moon number 27. So we have a published Valiant cover, and we have 3 unpublished Valiant covers, 4 Valiant related pieces. But I know that the fans are out there. Oh, Jason's got me. He could step in and be. That's because. Are you broke, Jason? Are you not going to be bidding at the auction? I hope that's not what that means. We we're not weather pussies, Robert. Robert B. Layton, Tom Layton. It's tough, man. It's you get used to 95 degrees down here, and when it gets to 55, it's cold. Then what else we got here? We got the wonderful Oranga X-Men piece. I know that's got proxy bid on it. Most of these pieces in the featured stuff, I think, have proxy bids on them already. But I did start. I have a room, like I mentioned, just for the Hero Initiative lots. There's nice piece in there. Bill Morrison did one just for the auction. This fun Avengers 4 homage, but with Justice League, Batman in the front. I thought that was great. We showed off the McManus before. We've got a couple Hembecks and a couple John McCrae things. So, and a Mike Owing. But as far as the stuff I posted today, where was that? I posted Next Comic Art had sent me a few pieces. So here were 3 Bob Layton unused Valiant covers. We got 2 pieces by Ellery, Elvin Ching, of course, Jim Jimenez, Rex Espino, Ed Taddeo, John Amore. Look at that, a Cyclops. I'm going to have to bid on that one. The Captain Marvel that I can't remember the gentleman's name now. He's actually in Florida. He donated the piece to Hero because when the hurricane came through, the last one, he ended up needing some help from Hero, and he asked if there was anything he could do to assist them. And he said, and Jim McLaughlin said, well, Bill's got OAX in Orlando, and you could probably easily get the art over to him. And so we did. So Omar, right? Omar Frankia, or I'm probably butchering that, but either way, the Miles by Ellery is great. Absolutely, I love Ellery's stuff. It's going to be great. I got to meet Ellery at San Diego this year in the flesh finally, and he is as nice in person as he is on them. Uh, uh, when he's when he's in the streams with me. But I know that this is just kind of a first round from Next Comic Art. They're going to be sending out another batch. And one of the things that I did ask Jiggy was, were all of his artists going to be participating in the free signing and free sketch event? And he said that they were, which is of course on Sunday between 2 and 3. It's also worth noting that OAX and Comic Art fans will actually have a booth on the floor in the main exhibit hall this year. We are booth 37. So as you enter the hall, to let's see, I think to your left is Heritage, to your right is Comic Link, and after Comic Link is Hakes, and then after Hakes is us. We're kind of like the end cap towards one of the emergency exits. So we'll be over in the corner, cat a corner to Mr. DiTullio's galleries with the Simones. Let's see, blank cards. You talking about the sketch cards, Marcus? Yes. So 37. 37 is the booth number. Most likely, my daughter Gwen and my son Ashton will be over there. They'll probably be manning the booth, but all of the artwork for the auction will be available there. So really easy to find. You're not gonna miss it. And we'll have a back wall of pro panels. So some of the artwork will be hanging up, and other pieces will be in portfolios. So you'll be able to see everything. Yep, Kazra highlighted that in the chat too. Like I just mentioned, we'll have the free sketch Sunday from 2 to 3:30. So it's a sketch and signature event. A lot of people are excited about that, and it was a hit last year, and everybody's going to get a couple sketch cards. I think I could be wrong. Is it 1 or 2? Kazra will correct me. In their swag bags, so they've got that, and many of the artists are going to have the OAX CAX. I should say actually they're CAX cards this year. To sketch on. So there's plenty of cards that are going to be around. We think they're going to be very, very highly in demand throughout the show. We've printed quite a few. 1 unless they give us money. All right, then it's 1. I don't know. I heard the number 2 at some point in one of the meetings, but I probably misheard it. Kazra is doing free sketches. Yeah, if we can get Kazra to sit at a table from 2 to 3:30, he could do some sketches. Don't ask me to. I've done a few for those Dueling Dealer box sets in the past, but not something that I'm really fond of doing. I'm not very good at it, but I would do it in a pinch. Oh man, so what else is going on? So other than that, I don't think I missed anything related to the auction. I mean, you know how to do your proxy bidding. We're going to send out some emails about that. Proxy bidding will end on Monday evening at midnight Eastern or around there. I'll shut the gallery down, or at least turn the pieces off within the gallery, because pretty much at that point I've got to lock things in, create the program guide effectively for the auction, and and I know I'm going to be updating it probably a lot, because more than likely we got about, I don't know, 30 pieces from people the day of the show on Saturday. So I know I'm going to have I'm not bringing a scanner with me, but I'll do my best to photograph them and get them in the PDF as well. So it'll be easy to kind of preview those items that we received at the day of the show. Let's see. I did see you sent me an email, Bob. I will do my best to transfer that email from my other computer over to here when I have a second. But I know you have a new protege in the works, Joanne Kim, destined to be a star. We saw her work a couple weeks back. We all agreed she was very talented. Definitely. What's the starting bid on Kazra sketches? Dre Studios wants to know. That's a good question. They're priceless, so I don't know. But we probably 11 cents. I didn't even know they made Modoc Underoos, Bob Layton. I don't know. Is that a thing? You probably had those custom made. I don't know. But yeah, what else I got going on here? So that's OAX is it's like I mentioned when we had both Steve and Lauren on. It's all coming together, and I think you guys are gonna be happy. The back of my house is like like a bomb went off. I've got open boxes all over the place. Some of the posters arrived today. Um, Most of the other stuff like the lanyards and badges, and we have a new step and repeat that's going to be used behind the auctioneers that came in. So my house is a mess. I'll be happy when I leave Wednesday afternoon and leave. Maureen's not going to get there till Thursday night. I just got to get out of the insanity that is the back end of the house right now. Sydney Blumenthal's going to wear a Venom Hawaiian shirt on Saturday. All right, Sydney, I like that. That would be a very interesting and colorful shirt. I don't think I have anything that could match that or come anywhere near that. Yeah, it was USD as well, Dre. So what else we got here? I'm not wearing that hat ever again, Jason. The power will go out at the hotel, or the internet will go down. Something terrible will happen. But one of the things I do want to let people know about the auction, the we're really all about trying to make the flow work so we can get out of there by 8, because we've got 2 events happening after the auction. The one is over at Miller's Ale House, where good old Jason, he's part of the team on that one. He'll be over there by 8 o'clock to greet anybody coming in. But we basically reserved the back area of the bar. They have a bar that's outside of the dining area. Mostly covered and partially outside, and we told them that we expect about 100 to 200 people to show up, so you better plan on going over there and having a beer or two. But that happens right after the auction. And also Tatiana, as we talked about on Sunday, has a Learn to Play Magic the Gathering thing going on in one of the South Tower penthouses. And so, we definitely encourage everybody to go over there. I know there's several collectors that want to learn. I know Newell's being a part of that. Carl Choi, Maureen's going to be over there helping out. I believe Gwen and my son Ashton are going to start the night out over there as well. And from what I've heard on the grapevine from a few people, there's a lot of people that are going to be going over to that event, because there's some decks and stuff that they can get that they can only pick up there. That hat is not coming, man. Where is the band jam? Wants to know Robert Berman. I can't tell you that yet, Robert. Robert, it won't be this year, but if we can, I would definitely love to do something like having a band during year 3. I mean, if you get JP involved, we get George Hodge, maybe we can get Mike Allred to come back. Now that'd be a power trio right there, in and of itself. That would be a lot of fun. And hey, Maddox used to be in a band. We can get him to do some stuff too. I have no idea if he plays, he sings, or he just kind of bangs his head with that long hair of his. But that would be a memorable event. It certainly would. Yes, Dennis is going to be there, Bob. Yeah, in the flesh. He's I think, well, as a lot of people on the West Coast, they've had a few challenges of late, but yeah, Dennis is coming. I've had him on a lot of sales shows. He's a lot of fun, and I'm kind of excited to get to talk to him face to face, because we've done about 5 or 6 sales shows, and I've never met him in person yet. So yeah, that'll be fun. JP on guitar, yeah. Pappas on keyboards, even better. Yeah, who would be on drums? Is there anybody that resembles Animal and can play drums out in the audience? Any art collectors? There's got to be somebody, right? Uh-oh. Someone. Oh, don't tell me that, Dan. Where is that? Right there. Someone bought a Bill Cox T-shirt tonight, and you know that's Dan, and it's that wonderful, dorky, beautiful illustration that Dan did of me. So somebody's going to be wearing that T-shirt at OAX this weekend. I'm sure it is a hot seller, right? Yeah, there it is. It's a hot seller. I'd give it 5 stars. If you can go over to TeePublic and rate it, I bet you it's one of their high. I bet you it's one of Dan's highest rated T-shirts, if there are ratings over there. Oh man, but hey, you know what? I have one package to open, and I think I had this thing last week, and I totally forgot about it. And trust me, all I've been doing is opening packages, but none for me specifically. This came from Josh Blanders. Actually, I have no idea what's in it. He didn't send me an email to say there's that he was sending me anything, so I don't think this was accidental. But let's see here, it's one of those. Oh, good, I came pretty close to cutting whatever was inside of it. That would have been bad. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, Phil. Just a little something for your mom. I'll have more Mannix treats at OAX very soon. Thanks for all you guys do, Josh and Sherry. So nice letter from Josh. And yeah, let me open this up here. Oh, well, here, this is right on top. It's a Mannix snicked. Here, let me switch over to me here. We go back and get rid of this share screen here. I'm tiny. There we go. Look at that. We have our own. Well, no, I'm not going to say anything. But there you go. Mannix slicing and dicing sticker. Then was Josh in the audience? I haven't seen him in the chat tonight. But here, let's see. He probably didn't. I didn't tell him I was opening this. All right. So this is for my mom. Oh, she's gonna love that. Here. That is the Mannix Commission sequential piece that Josh had Mannix make. And when was that? Was that like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago? I don't know how long that's been in Josh's collection. But my mom happened to be watching whatever show, I think that was when we did the interview with Josh. And my mom called me the next morning and she's like, where can I buy a print of that? So Josh always remembered that. And he's made my mom a shirt. That is so awesome. And the cool thing is, and it's unfortunate, I did tell my mom. I mean, my mom's always very proud of me, and she my Gwen is actually, she graduated from Full Sail in at the end of November, but her graduation is the first weekend in February. So I tried to convince my mom to come down a little earlier, spend a few weeks here. I wanted her to, I would have liked her to have come to OAX just to kind of, to see what we do. I mean, she sees my live streams and she's never been a part of, well, she was a part of the mini golf. I'm trying to get her to forget that part of my work history. If she could come to see OAX, that would be really awesome. But she just felt she would be in the way, and so she's coming down right after OAX is over. But I'll hold on to this and give it to her, Josh. And thank you and Sherry so much for providing this. She will be very, very happy. And now she doesn't have to buy a print. She can just wear this thing around the house. So wow, no, that's wonderful. The first gift that my mom's got on the channel, and what is this? Almost 5 years. Very happy. Stupid Sexy Flanders. Oh boy. Comic art mom, Jana Moore. That's right. No, my mom's awesome. I mean, I would not be the guy that I am without my mom. She put up with a lot, took me to a lot of art shows and things when I was a kid, always bought me all the comics I wanted. She was very special. She always took care of me. And but she wouldn't take me to the heavy metal movie. That was off limits. But other than that, that was the only letdown I had from my mom in all my upbringing. Oh man. All right. Well, listen, it's Chris Snorek's been sitting in the green room watching me ramble along here for a little while. I might as well bring him in here. Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Yeah, just getting a little tired. How's it going, man?
I'm good. You?
Not too bad. Is it cold there?
Yeah, it's freezing. I mean, you're surprised, right?
No.
It's
I
cold
happen
in Wisconsin in January.
Right. Well, I have Brunswick, Ohio still on my phone, so I kind of flipped to it to see what my mom's got, and it was pretty cold there the other day. I mean, it's like 0-degree temperatures coming up in like a week or so.
We had that this week, and then weirdly, so it's going to be 44 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, and then Saturday is 18, and then by Monday it's the high is -3.
Why do you live there?
That's the high temp.
Well, you have no one to blame but yourself, man.
That's
I mean,
true.
I did 55 years in in Ohio, so I understand it's hard to kind of break out of the habits that you have when you grow up in a place. But boy, that's tough. That's real tough.
Just drink more. It's fine.
Oh man, gosh, I've got a couple things I was supposed to be doing here on the side, and I totally forgot about them. I'm going to start a few downloads here, but yeah, you excited? I'm excited. Finally, I mean, it's starting to sink in that OAX is a week away.
People are like texting me now, and like little plans are being made, and are you bringing art? I'm bringing art, and like all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's imminent. It feels real now. Yeah,
indeed. It's yeah, there's just so many. Like I say, when I start seeing all the boxes start piling up in the other room, just like I said, I got the lanyards, what did I get today? I got 3 boxes of posters. I got 10 of them arriving tomorrow. I forgot. I didn't realize how many posters we got. I might have to make 2 trips
Wow.
to the hotel to drop stuff
Yeah.
off. But
Nice
yeah, it's feeling
U-Haul.
real. Yeah. So, but no, I'm ready. I think it's, once you start getting the auction pieces in, I got Matt Wagner's artwork in today. Some people were
Ooh,
mailing them. Other stuff I'll be picking up at OAX. So yeah, definitely, it feels real. I'm ready.
that's awesome.
And I wish it would have been cool if we actually had the program done. It would have been cool to show it off, but we don't have it done, so I can't. And we still have a few things to move around. And Antoine, I'll actually be 57 in April. So yeah, I think when I left Ohio, I was still 55. Um, but yeah, there is no CEO party like we had last year. But we don't need one. We're all gonna be partying at Miller's,
Yeah.
and we will have some drink coupons to hand out. There'll be just look for some CAF staffers, because we'll have some of those. But the great thing is Miller's drafts are like what, $4 to $6. I mean, so
And I think they start at 20 ounces or something.
exactly.
I think
You're
you
never
can
gonna
get like
want
a
to leave.
28-ounce beer there. It's like this
If anybody,
tall.
I hope no one has to call for an Uber to get from Miller's Ale House to the front of the hotel, but that'll be a story.
I'll carry you if you need to get there if you need to get back that bad.
Yeah. Well, did you hear earlier? I mean, we may have the artwork from Adam for Bub Crawl. He wanted to have it for us tonight and wasn't able to do it, but he promised Rob that it would be done tomorrow. So
Okay.
we'll see. And I should tell everybody too, I have booked the event with Adam Kubert at Universal. It is happening. So and they told us that, how many days? I think it's 2 days. We can modify the head count. So if anybody's coming in early and wants to, it'll be a 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Outing at Universal, VIP, front of line. You can do whatever you want. You could literally ride the Hagrid's ride.
You can't do whatever you want, Bill.
Well, they said that you can like a lot of the stuff is like you can only ride one ride, right? As a VIP. When you're like the private VIP, you can get off Hagrid and just keep going back on it. If you wanted to do that for 9 straight hours, they would be fine with that. So and you imagine some people probably would hang out in the Harry Potter land and pay $900 or whatever the heck the ticket price is for that to just do it all day. But
he put that out. It was on his Instagram this week. He was talking about it maybe yesterday or the day before.
I had 2 people inquire about it today, and I said, yeah, you just it's expensive, because I mean, literally the VIP ticket, by itself is, I think, $800. It's around there. But what do you get for it? I know you get breakfast, you get lunch. I don't know where. I think the breakfast is it's like out of the park, because that's where you meet, and then you get breakfast, and then you can probably, I think you can eat it, like there's like 6 different restaurants you can pick from for your lunch. So you get all that, and like I said, you get front of ride. I don't know if they give you like the photo option. They should. I'll have to look into that, because you figure any photos that are taken should be free that day. If you're paying $800 a head for
you would hope.
They all should be free. But the downside is it doesn't even include the park to park ticket. So you have to buy that separate. So literally it's the ticket, the VIP and the ticket ends up being like $1,000. So the event itself is $1,500. With that, you get I forget the size that Adam draws his sketches on, like 6x9, something like that, bust or to full body. It's really whatever he wants to do. He'll sign all this stuff. You get an Art of Adam Kubert book, and you get an experience like remember, Adam did all the art at Islands of Adventure. All those giant images are all his. So and I want to do this with him, because the whole thing is, when you go through that area, just getting pictures of him in front of all the artwork. I mean, that's going to be freaking cool. I'm so pissed that I can't go.
And is that going away soon? Because I keep seeing ads for Universal is like retooling everything. Like there's going to be Mario Land and blah 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 blah.
Well, that's a new park. They have a brand new park they're opening across the street, but they're doing something with one of the areas. I forget where they're changing it. Oh, they're like, oh no, maybe I'm thinking of Disney. Disney's getting rid of like the Muppets area and replacing it with something else. And somehow they're taking Muppets and mashing it into their Rock and Roll Roller Coaster Aerosmith ride. I have no idea how that's going to work, but
maybe Electric Mayhem is going to be involved.
You know what? That would make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, Universal has a whole new park opening with with the Nintendo Land and How to Train Your Dragon. That
Yeah.
does not open until May though. So
Okay.
and I've
Well,
got tickets for day 8 to that.
I
So I'll
was
be going.
just thinking if the Marvel stuff was going to go away and this was your last chance to do it, that'd be a hell of a way to go out doing it with Adam Kubert.
True. Yeah, if that were happening, then I'd find a way to go. I might even, if they told me they were going to be there at noon, it's only right across the street. I might, I've got an annual pass. I could just run in. I could say, all right, Casper, I'm going to run across the street for 1 hour,
He'd
just so
love
I can
that.
just so I can get my pictures with Adam Kubert. Because here's the thing. Gwen is actually going to be going with them because we were like, we got to have an official OAX person there taking photos and all that kind of stuff. And so Gwen's she's as of now the token OAX person who will be going over there with them. But it's going to be a good thing. Yeah, Bill, just go. Yeah, you talk to Kazra for me, man. You fill in for me while I'm over there having a good time.
I can absolutely picture the bemusement on Kazra's face when you said it.
I'll live stream it while it's going on.
Yeah.
But either way, that to me would be the highlight. Just getting to hang out, getting a group photo with everybody who's part of that, and Adam. I mean, and he's looking forward to. He's been giddy about this since he came up with the idea last year, and then we didn't get to do it. And now he's got the chance to actually make it happen. It's gonna be fun. So catch it. He says, "Have fun, Bill." We'll see. I got the okay. We'll figure it out. If it's the thing is if they go there at the end of the trip, I can't do that because the reception starts at 5. So if they did something like at 1 o'clock, and maybe I know they can do whatever they want. I think maybe that'll work out. Maybe I'll see if I can coerce them to do something like that. Call me when you're 15 minutes from the Islands of Adventure. Call me.
That's your Gwen hookup. That's your phone call.
That's right. She's got to keep me in the loop on that. And I do know that the meetup actually happens at the other park, the Universal Studios park. So they'll probably start there and work their way. And Islands of Adventure will be in the middle. They could go there, first, or after lunch or something. Anyway, we'll see. We'll figure it out. What else we got going on there? But other than that, yeah, I'm just ready. I'm ready for it to get going. But what else we got? We're not even gonna do a schedule tonight, Chris. Just so you know, we have no schedule to talk about. Why? Because I don't have a show. I even looked. I really don't have I don't have a Tuesday show scheduled at all. So I've got a little bit of work to do to line up a few interviews and things. But yeah, so it's all good. So what should we do? We should. I got heritage picks. We can go through those. We're at the 1 hour mark. We're going to be done in 2 hours tonight. Yeah. Let me share the right screen here. Close that one. Where is my heritage picks? Oh man, see, I've got too many windows open again. Oh, son of a gun. All right, and I'm looking at the program too. I knew I should have. If I could have only worked on that a little bit more, you guys would have appreciated it, I'm sure. But like I mentioned, we're going to give the program out early in the week somehow, so you'll be able to work up your game plans, figure out where you want to go first, all that fun stuff.
Good way to build anticipation at the beginning of the week.
Exactly. All right, so let me see here. Close a few screens. Get that one out of there. All right, so I just kind of ran through stuff today just to see what I thought was kind of interesting. This is an unpublished page to Jungle Adventures 4, but it's by Jack Katz. I mean, a lot of people have, it'd be cool to get a piece from Katz, right? I mean, there's just not a lot of stuff out there. And I saw that and I'm like, oh, I mean, he's a kind of a pivotal guy in comics in his own, or in indie comics, I guess you should say. And so, I'd be happy to own something by him. So there you go. There's something Jungle Adventures #4, Frank Giacquetta inks on it too. Then I had to pick this one. I didn't want to pick another Nexus by Steve Rude, but this is like something different, right? It's a Nexus, the newspaper strips, trade paperback page, and it's like numbers, page 65. So I don't even know how this thing was published, but I mean, if you take it in, taking the page in as a whole, what a cool composition this thing is. I mean, the blacks are so rich,
dark.
There's no mid-tones at all in this thing. Oh man, every panel, I mean, it's just, to me, it's just eye candy. I keep going round and round on this thing, to whatever this machinery is up here, to the figure. All this work it's just, I mean, Rude's amazing. And
holy dialogue, Batman.
I know there, right. There is so much text on it, but that's why it's what is it even says Nexus the comic strip. I don't know what that is. I mean, I've read a bit of Nexus, but I have no idea what that's from.
It's
Page
also not
65.
formatted like a strip.
Right, like a Sunday in a weird way. It's it's signed 2015. I don't know if that's the year it was done. I can't imagine, but either way, cool piece of art, a little different and outside of the Nexus issue 1 to 3s that we've seen of late. Probably same collector consigning them. Here you go. Piece for the X-Men fans out in the audience. This was a Rich Bennett X-Men Unlimited page. Just I thought it was kind of fun, and these funky angled things feel very 90s as far as the panel construction goes. So I was like, why not? And it's a pretty dynamic image of Kurt in that first weird shaped panel. It's kind of like it's like a half splash all by itself, even though it's
almost like a Spidey pose there.
It is, yeah. I don't know what he's carrying, like he's like got torches or something he's juggling, but hey, either way, nice piece for that. Next up was a Sean Gordon Murphy piece. I love Sean's stuff. This is from Batman White Knight, issue 3, page 1. And I was looking at the panels. I just love the way he does these things, but I really dug this dark, alley, Zoinko's joke shop. It's the whole way he kind of handled that and drew that in there. So
fun pacing.
It is, yeah. And it's I don't know if it was the title page or not. My gut tells me it was probably on page 2, but kind of a neat way to be your intro to a story. Then, okay, I picked this one for different reasons, but this is from West Coast Avengers issue 36, and it's just funny. I mean, and it's back to pacing and things, but literally the first panel and the second panel, they're like practically the same. It's like, why in the heck would somebody draw this, right? And it was really about the story because they had to figure a good way to break up the dialogue in these 3 panels. So it was just weird because when I first saw it, I thought, oh, that's a cool first panel, and then I looked at the second panel, I'm like, why'd they do that? It's kind of it's like why would you repeat yourself? Almost the angle's the same. You could have changed anything you wanted, and it was really
kind of like. Yeah, it's kind of like they just push the camera in.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And the word balloon's missing in the first panel, but clearly Hawkeye was saying something. And but either way, I just thought it's interesting and odd all at the same time. Milgram and Mike Macklin was the inker on that one. Oh, where were we? Oh, that's right, Grindberg. I just I try to pass up a lot of Silver Surfer pieces just because there's always good Silver Surfer pieces out there anymore. But this was a Grindberg inked by Bill Anderson. I just thought this thing was really, really beautiful, especially just the way the Silver Surfer's drawn. I mean, it just feels so metallic. I mean, I just feel like they got these fluid lines in there to get in his musculature and all that and the anatomy right, but I just think this thing is just packed with energy, even though it's not like we're not like drawing action lines in a way. This is like, I mean, this is like rippling fire, I don't know. I just thought this thing was cool. And I love this funky perspective on the last panel.
That's maybe the best piece of it in my mind is that the forced perspective and the extremity of the pose.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is great. And what was it from? It was from a Silver Surfer 104. Okay. Then this one, there's been obviously a lot of Magic art, from the book Magic out there, and it always was a fun story, fun read. I think there's a lot of people on CAF who probably have a affinity for the book and the story. Yep. But I've just been avoiding picking pages from them. I don't know why. And then I came across this one, and it's Friends in Palmer, and I was like, all right, I finally have to pick one. If I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it now. So Friends, Tom Palmer, Magic 3. Just this for me is nostalgic because I just really enjoyed that story. And we're okay. Keith Giffen. Yeah, it was everybody needs a Keith Giffen Omega Men page, whether it's filled with action or not, just so you can say you have one. Mike DiCarlo inks on this one. This was from issue 4, so no action whatsoever on it. But if you were reading these books back then, I mean, I loved when Giffen's run on Legion, which I thought was freaking awesome. The Omega Men comics weren't as dynamic and cool, but I bought them anyway because I enjoyed just the way Giffen was drawing during this period, and I still enjoyed the stories. They just didn't have the same kind of impact.
It was kind of like so Legion has always been a little soap opera-y, because like probably because of the age of the characters and the the volume of characters and like whatever. You have to have all those little like subplots happening like to keep people interested because there's like 400 characters in the Legion. Omega Men was kind of like hard sci-fi, so it was like, but you like stripped out more of the soap opera-y stuff.
Got it. It is DC, Marcus. Come on, man. I bought a little bit of DC. This, and outside of Byrne and Perez doing DC stuff, Giffen when he was on Legion, I was smitten. The art, the covers were great, and I had to buy them. It was the weirdest thing. I had
Well, there was a big Cockrum influence, right?
Right. Right, and it's a team book, so that probably was a bit of an influence too. But up until that point, I had never, if it wasn't drawn by Perez or Byrne, I didn't buy anything off the shelf at the drugstore from DC until Giffen's Legion of Superheroes, and I was done when it was done. I couldn't read it anymore, but I love the art. I really, it just made a lot of sense for me. And I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention to the chat. I saw people were telling us what the Rude stuff was, and mentioning Rude has his own channel on YouTube. That's right, Delight. So, yeah. And Legion, Robert Berman points out, Legion is the only big team that's 50-50 male, female.
Well, there also isn't a team that's even half the size of the Legion.
That is very true. What did I find? Oh, I've got two other pieces. One was a Jock Detective spread. Just fun storytelling. I admire his work, and usually it's kind of minimalistic. I think he kind of has a. I don't say he's not taking shortcuts, but I think he just likes to tell stories in as few brush strokes as possible sometimes. So I like this, and I love the breakdown of the panels in between. We really have this big cityscape. And then it's fun. I mean, there's no dialogue. We don't get to see the word balloons on this, but I can just imagine the kind of back and forth. When we look at the panels, I just think it's nice. I almost don't care what.
Cool, a cool device to have a conversation in the middle of that piece.
Right, and he's definitely, obviously there's a dividing line there, but he's just separated things just enough to make it. I don't know. I like it a lot. What was the other thing? Oh, that's right. And I picked this one. It's Ross Andrew and Tony DeZuniga, or is it DeZuniga?
Yeah. I say DeZuniga. Yeah.
All right, I do too. Jonah Hex, and this is you. I mean, I assume you must have seen this, right? I mean, this is a really well drawn page.
Yeah.
I love the amount of, because that first panel, all the wood boards in the background, it was just fun seeing that much effort put into the piece. And then this last panel is so freaking great.
That's money in the bank.
Isn't it? Man, I mean, going back to it, makes me want to buy a Jonah Hex page. It's so well drawn, man. I love it. Oh man, I'm looking at it again now. I just think, because I mean, literally, you are on the ground with this. This is the mouse eye view of the gunshots here, because you see in the bottom of that guy's shoe. I mean, this is freaking awesome. Yeah,
I really have never cared for Tony as a penciler, but I love him as an inker. And over top, Ross Andrew is so neat, so so dialed in. Like that's a great combo.
Very, very, very true. All right, cool. And there was actually a fair amount of interesting stuff to pick from. So I just went with my gut this time around. So, but I know everybody's probably saving their money for OAX anyway. But that could be good for you buyers out there. And I saw bootlegging. I don't know what bootlegging needs to search for on the app. But are you still having a good time with the app, though, Chris?
100%. Yeah, I was on there 2 or 3 times today.
That's good. Andy, the developer, is pestering me. He's like, I know you're busy, Bill, but what's the next thing you want me to get started on? I'm like, just give me a minute, Andy. I'll call you on Friday. I'll give you what the next item is, because we still haven't put our press release out. We should get it out before OAX. I think we will, but so I'm not going to announce it here. But I have like one thing. I'm just going to be like, this is the major components of what we want to put out in the next 2 months. Figure it out. And it's not anything super specific, but just getting him on that as a task, and I'll give him one thing to narrowly focus on, and that'll give him enough to work on for a week before while we get through OAX and everything.
Yeah.
Casper says we should get it out tomorrow. Yeah, good. I know he and I are going to be talking in the morning. But yeah, Stingray's hanging out in the app right now. Good.
He's double
uh,
dipping, Stingray.
yeah, no, it's fun because the cool thing is the app actually had this like crazy bug in it, and when it first released that I wasn't aware of, and it was because I hadn't tested it thoroughly enough. There's like a field I didn't use, and it was weird for people who were trying to add a purchase date in the private data. Whenever they did that, 9 times out of 10, it had an association problem with you. Like it would almost make it so the art wasn't associated with you. And we were catching it, and it took us a while to figure out what this commonality was between all the pieces. And Maureen finally figured it out. She's like, well, every piece has a purchase date, and was activated and was activated afterwards. I didn't know how many people add artwork, finesse their titles, maybe add auxiliary images to it, and then turn it on. A lot of people take care. A lot of care in what they present. They don't want to just dump it out. but that was the one thing I've learned from the app is that, and that's how a lot of people treat it, and that was where the bug was. And so like a week later, we had rolled out a few updates, and that was a fix in it. And it was really cool to see, because Maureen had in the meantime had made a page that I could just go to like every hour and press a button, and it would fix anything that wasn't associated right. And we rolled the update out, and auto updates are freaking amazing, because after we rolled it out, within like 6 hours, it never happened again. So it was just cool to see. My feeling was like, oh, some people aren't going to update, and I'm going to have to keep going back to this page, right? Well, somehow, amazingly, I mean, maybe it's just because we only have whatever it is, like 500 or 600 people using it right now. But I mean, if we had 50,000 people right now, I'd still be dealing with it. But that small amount, it was like 6 hours later, everything was fixed. So it was cool to see. I mean, it makes you feel like, wow, if you ever released a version that had an actual bug that was very damaging, that you could fix it quickly, roll it out, and everybody would be fixed right away. I mean, you've got experience with apps, so and you've been there.
Yes. Stand but
yeah, and see there, Robert Berman says, I have lots of pages queued to go active on a certain schedule. So yeah, I mean, everybody, I mean, and that's, again, I have learned a lot about how people use CAF and the way that they choose to manage their galleries in the last 5 years, and I'm still learning. I mean,
me too.
All right, so next up, I know Nick's been going a little bit crazy of late, ever since the Diamond news and all that stuff. So I haven't seen him in the chat since. Well, I don't even know when the last time I saw him, and who knows when we might see him again. He's still got a lot of stuff to iron out, but he is doing a show tomorrow on the EXP. He might even talk about his Diamond issues and everything, but who knows? Who knows the full impact of that, and where that's going to eventually.
Having worked in a comic store for many years, it's hard for me to fathom. What happens. I mean, they're not it, but they're basically it.
Oh, so Corey says there's no show tomorrow, no OAX for Nick. Well, maybe that's what we're going to find out, because I have not. Strangely enough, Nick's his video editor always sends me a file that is gigantic, and I have to compress it. So I actually this time I didn't have to do that. But so when I have to re-edit them, I get to see it. So I haven't even previewed this one, because he finally sent me one that was under 200 meg as a file size, and I was like, holy shoot, man! I actually get to not have to edit this thing for once. He had a little video earlier, or maybe that's what we're going to see. And then somebody should put hey, Kazrick,
happening.
Something is definitely afoot. I don't have time to run over to Dan T's his t-shirt T Public store, but maybe Kazrick can go over there and get it and post it in the chat for anybody who wants to see these things. I'm not buying.
He posted a link in a little bit ago.
Oh, he did? Oh, is that why it's happening? Okay,
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Kazra. Oh, okay, that's when I wasn't looking. All right, well, let's go ahead and play this video then with Nick, and I guess we might understand. Oh, it's only a minute and a half. Okay, I hadn't seen it. So, all right, well, here we go. Let's see what Nick has to say about his show that isn't happening tomorrow.
Hey, everybody. There's no art here because it's been one heck of a week. As probably most people have heard, Diamond filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy reorganization. We're on their list of creditors, so I've got a lot of paperwork to go through and a lot to look at. So this Friday, which I think is the 17th, but I could be wrong, I will not be doing a show. I will also not be doing a show on the 24th. I should be back on the 31st. I also won't be able to make it to OAX this year because, well, there's a lot of paperwork to look through and I need to do the responsible thing. So for those of you who I won't see, I hope you have a great time. And that's it. Short, or as short as I can make it and sweet. Don't forget, there are plenty of other shows to watch, and hopefully if you get a chance, go to OAX, have a great time, and I will see everybody on the 31st. Have a great one.
There you go. You get the long outro because I always edit that out. Well, that's the. I knew Nick was having a rough week, so there you have it. It is a rough week indeed. And sorry, I was trying to get that image over that Bob Layton had uploaded for me over to this computer. So let me see if I can show that off too. Well, that's too bad. What are you gonna do, right? Work comes first sometimes.
Yep.
I have no idea what's gonna happen there either. Sorry, let me. All right, so this is the artist that Bob has been mentoring. Let me see if I can share the screen properly here for this. Stop that one, share. And this is Bob doing inks over her pencils, if I'm not mistaken. So there you go. Look at that.
Nice.
You guys gonna put that up and auction it off for charity like you do with the other stuff, Bob? I don't know if Bob. Yeah, Bob's still out there. There you go.
Really nice textures.
Yeah, no, it's very nice. I'd bid on that.
Way to go, Tom.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, this so Joanne Kim, maybe she'll be coming to OAX sometime. You never know. That's not bad. You guys do great work
Very
together. You should bring that to the show. I bet it would sell. Take the money back to Joanne. She's earned it. Yeah. Man, I can't follow the chat tonight. Not a problem, Bob.
It's really chat's going ape tonight.
They are. Well, I guess they're trying to get all their comments in because, again, for the next 10 days, there's going to be no shows. More than 10 days, everybody. More than 10.
It's their outlet.
Exactly. Yeah, get it out right now. Okay, so there you go. There's the Snorek shirt link is out there now. And I'll tell you, Chris, I'm bringing that shirt. I've not worn it. I'm bringing that shirt. It's yours. I haven't had a chance to put it in. I wanted to get it in our store. I just don't have time, man. So I'll bring it in.
If I get one, I don't care if anybody else gets one. I hope you do, but I don't care.
Cool. No, that's you'll have the one and only for now.
Rad.
Gosh. Yeah, exactly.
What size is it?
Gosh, I'm not sure where I put it. Oh, here, let's see. Nope. I think actually it's in the bar or on the bar because I knew I wanted to take it to OAX, so I put it in with all the stuff I'm carrying. It's got to be at least a large, and those things are kind of oversized.
If you wipe up a beer with it, you're just getting ahead of the game. It's gonna smell like beer at some point anyway. So
right, exactly. Oh man, yeah, but that was a great shirt. But yes, it is yours, and it's ready to be packed up and shipped.
Thanks, man.
Over to the venue. All right, well, let's see. I got everything else loaded up and queued up here. I don't think I have anything else to go. So we can do the CAF update now. CAF update's kind of boring this time around, actually. Let me see. I think I've actually closed that window already. Shoot, let me open it up again. Well, here, I'll do it from here. Da-da. Sorry, long day. Here we go. All right. I know dealers had an awful week last week. Not as bad as the week of Christmas or anything, but bad enough. $210,000 was all they made. Bermuda Man had almost half of it, 95,000. Anthony had 56. Felix had 30. Albert had 17. And Comic-Con Art, 25 sales, $9,400. I know they have a lot of monoprints over there in Comic-Con Art, but they sell originals too. So they must have had it must be the original sales that got them up to that. I know that Felix sold a complete absolute one of those Batman books just recently. So I think that was this week. So I think Felix is going to have a big bump. And Felix is doing art drops like crazy. He should have been holding those
I
off and
know.
bringing them to OAX, but he's got a Burnham drop tomorrow, I think, with Ninja Turtles, and he did something.
Cliff Chang.
Cliff Chang that's right. Yeah, it was a Cliff Chang one. So yeah, he's had a busy week. Maybe he's trying to get some free deliveries to OAX in advance or something. I don't know. Marcus, that's never going to happen. All right, just forget it. Just forget it.
I'll write on, if you buy my T-shirt, I'll write Bill loves wieners on it.
Right, it's got an I. You can just put a B and two L's after it. Oh man. I'll tell you, one of the worst burns I got. I don't mind saying this. I'm almost 57 years old. I can talk about the humiliating things that happened to me when I was in middle school.
Of course.
One of the worst burns that I ever got was this little redheaded punk. Was doing something. I forget what class. It was one of those ones where you had to get up and do a speech that you wrote and blah blah blah. And he threw it for whatever reason. I have no idea. I never did anything to this kid, but of course, my last name being Cox, it's ripe for any kind of joke. And he said something like, "And if everybody didn't know it, Bill's middle name is Sucks." That's the reaction that the rest of the class had too.
I might have to mute.
Like the turtle that went down. Was like, because I'm the shyest kid in the room already, and here this punk had his Southern Comic Inc. It is not. That's not my middle name.
Is it?
No, yes. Thanks a lot, Jason. Yeah, that was funny. I can look back on it and laugh now, but at the time, yeah, that one hurt. That one hurt like I hadn't been hurt before.
Yes, that is a dagger.
Oh, shoot. All right. So back to the wonderful update here. Let me show you the top 6 sales from art dealers last week. I don't even know what they are. That's right. I actually picked this. This is one of my picks this week. But the Cover to Thor 182, I didn't know it was a sale item when I picked it. But Buscema, Synod, I've talked about this one before. I got to see it at Berkey's house before a few times. $80,000 was the asking price on this one. Sold just after the new year. We'll see to whom soon. Then we have a Ryan Sook, Black Canary, Best of the Best issue 1. I assume this was a full book sold. Yeah. Okay, for 20 grand, complete. And then a Joe Kubert. I think we saw this one on one of Anthony's drops or not. This is Brave and the Bold 43. Joe Kubert, of course. Yeah, I'm sad every time I see one. 15 grand was the asking price on that. Cassidy. Cover to The Force Awakens, issue 1, went for $15,000. That's very nice. And a Cap. What is this? Cap. What is it? 176. Cap contemplates becoming nomad, writes Anthony Snyder. This one, he had an asking price on this one of $7,500. Then finally, a Steve Ditko, Tales of Suspense, issue 37. Pre-hero book here, and this one went for $7,000. That was pretty cool. Yeah, actually. If you're gonna get you're not gonna get a a Spidey page, a pre-hero kind of page like that would be pretty nice. I like his older stuff too, but the earlier things, just the stylistically, the paper, his line work, all just that's the right spot. Yeah. But still, what was that? $7 grand. It's already, it just starts reaching into those areas I might not be able to get to. Auction results. Busy week because of the signature auction. As small as it was still 6 million plus for the total, and 5.8 of that was from the signature auction. eBay made up $100,000 of that, and the Heritage Weekly was 176. Let's see what the top 3 from both the weekly eBay and weekly Heritage were. So first up over on eBay, This was a buy it now listed for $11,000. Adam Hughes, Talia Ghul piece. What the heck? My son has got everything backwards. OMG. All right. Well, Ashton gets one demerit today because this ain't going to be right either. Well, the Adam Hughes went for $9,500. This Grendel piece actually went for 4,306. How did he screw this up? Oh, my son. Then okay, yeah, he's
That's
going
not Jerry
backwards.
Ordway either.
No, it ain't because right. He's got him in, he's got Heritage First on the copy and eBay. So this was a art germ piece, went for $3,500. Now over to Heritage, we're going backwards. We have the Dennis Cowan question page that went for $15,600. Yeah, I know. Who would have guessed? They just keep going up. Then a Matt Baker Journey into Fear, issue 1, page 3, not the Panda Brothers. This one went for 5,280. Gosh, we find new ways to mess things up not every week, but when we do it well. Then this is the Jerry Ordway Images of Shadowhawk #1 pinup. It went for almost the same, $3,600.
Plus, you get Jerry's old phone number,
or maybe, yeah. So
maybe
there you have
current.
Everything's backwards today. That was a nice art. Yeah, the Hughes was good. Yeah, I get it. Thanks, Marcus. All right. Well, there you go. That is the CAF update for the week. I know I'm never going to live that one down. I'm going to have a talk with Ash. And I know I gave him the files really late today because I was so far behind it, but there's no excuse. Come on. He's been looking at this art for 4 years, making these videos for me. How can he screw that up? Adam Hughes, he knows come on.
Ashton's middle name is Sucks tonight.
Right. Exactly. Just remember, everybody, Ashton will be on the floor in booth 37 with his sister, Gwen. I want somebody to buy or bring something from Adam Hughes and hold it up and show him that this is an Adam Hughes drawing, and do your best to embarrass him. Yeah, you exactly, because he earned it after that one. All right, a Bizarro update, says Rick Welch. That's what it felt like. That is true. All right. Well, I guess we can move on to picks, man. So let me see here. I've got to get my the right tab set open here. And let's see.
The week was dominated by Gustavo Camargo.
Oh, I know. Yes.
And he posted so much art. And
he did.
George Pratt. Mr. Pratt posted a bunch of great art.
He did. Yeah, we actually had 2 people that we both picked because I kind of picked mine independent and never looked back. And I know you did too. And we fortunately didn't pick anything the same, but we did pick a couple people twice. So if the eagle-eyed people who look at my list of people whose art we picked, I think there was only 18 in the list this time, not the usual 20. So here, let me get the screen share going. But it was interesting. It's like, well, I think both people posted good enough work to have it be in our picks this week. But Pratt was killing it, and I just have to like go and just make him premium because I want to see the art bigger. He probably doesn't know that there's a premium status, but when he's posting Frazettas and just art Muths and stuff that we don't get to see too often on CAF,
and desperately want to.
It killed me. I got to write that down. I'm just going to do it. Pratt premium. I'll take care of that after we're done tonight.
Just Snorek premium too. If you're just in there monkeying around.
You're just giving them all away tonight. Yeah. Yes, exactly. But all right. So where are we starting? I forget whose CAF gallery this was from. Who is it? Oh, T. Shen. All right, cool. Take it away, man. This thing's freaking awesome.
So Dale Keown's Dale Keown. That's something unto itself. But I love what he did tonally on this piece to achieve the separation that he got between these bugs that are coming in, like in the the immediate foreground, top, bottom, side. So like you get that swarm effect, and the tone that he did like absolutely showcases it's almost like there's a spotlight on the maestro there, and tonally, I don't associate this kind of stuff with Keown this much. It's like a little, I guess, artsier than I typically associate with Keown. Later stuff, obviously, he did more of this, but
Mhm.
it's so effective here. And then the fact that you like, Maestro is kind of a cool looking character, like unto himself. This is like really striking.
Agreed. Yeah, they just had that really big Keown auction, at Signature for that one cover.
Yeah.
But no, I think this is great too, for all the same reasons. I think the fact that he's using the tonal work to really darken the creatures around him, and then you have this bright spotlight on him. I think it's just well lit. It looks great. Uh, I think it's fantastic. And this was one that I actually had as a reserve piece, so I would have picked it too. But yeah, I think it's absolutely amazing. T-Shen has a very nice collection for those of you who have not gone into their calf gallery. And I should remind everybody, when I put that link in there for the OAX proxy pieces, if you're a premium member, get in there and watch the freaking gallery. That way you won't miss any more updates from it if you haven't done it already. Next up, Jimmy Palmiotti. I knew you were going to pick this one.
Yeah. I mean, you talked about hacks, but I have a huge soft spot for Rafa Garas. He had some really, really good work on hacks. I haven't seen too much of his work outside of like, Danzig comics and things like that he did for like Big Two, but his stuff on hacks was really impactful to me. So I like the sepia tone stuff that he's got going on here. I think that the composition on this, while simple, is like incredibly effective. You're like looking up out of a grave essentially at Hex. And I just love how like raw and like potent his style is.
Yeah, no, I first saw this piece on the app and I was like, oh, that's a Snorek piece if I ever saw one. Yeah, it's just so striking. I love the sepia tones too. It just made it stand out in the crowd of our usual just pen and ink stuff. And so yeah, I thought this was wonderful. I mean, it really is a very nice piece.
I would be thrilled to own this myself.
Yeah. And Antoine says it's not an easy angle. Yeah, that is for sure. No, that's a challenge. And look, I see. I'm liking a lot more artwork. Like I'm sure many people.
Me
are.
too. Yeah.
The app, isn't it great?
What's really funny too is I've noticed like so I'll go like something and then the tendency is like, oh, what's the last few things they added? And I'm like, I never liked that. Like, what the hell? I'll see a piece from like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, or whatever that I like, right? I literally like, and I'm like, I can't believe I didn't like that before.
So you correct it, right? Because you're in the app and it's so easy. You don't even have to. Yep.
So
same thing.
Friends, if you're going through and you're getting emails saying like, I liked, 30 of your pieces or something ridiculous like that, blame the app. That's why.
I can't answer that for you, Antoine. I don't know if it's cropped at the top like that or if I think Jimmy photographs most of his stuff, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but I feel like
is the published image there by chance?
No, it's not, unfortunately. Yeah, that's But no, I do think he doesn't scan a lot of it. I think he photographs it. So it could just be
could
cropped.
be huge too. I'm hard to say.
Well, we'll see Jimmy in a week. We can ask him.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, F Comic 77DR. Not familiar with that calf gallery, but they've been on the site for 16 years. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's a Dylan Dog page, of course. I thought that looked like Dylan Dog maybe down there in the bottom. This is when I first saw this, it's like this is like a homemaker kind of piece. You got people drinking tea. You've got.
But you see that first panel, right?
I know the first panel, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the funny thing was my eye went from the bottom, top, and then you're over to that. Which is obviously completely opposite of what I should have done. But I was so drawn to the bottom panel with all that detail and the curtains and everything. It just that one got me, and I just followed up and I was like, oh. That house has got some problems.
Yeah. But I mean, this page is so incredibly cinematic to me. I mean, that you've got that exterior establishing shot, of the house, and like it's a creepy old house, and there's a thunderstorm, and it's at night, and yada yada yada. And then you go to the tea, and there's the old lady, and then you got your group shot at the bottom there. and it just like absolutely tells a little story, and that house just completely sets the stage for the rest of that page.
It does. I mean, it's beautiful. And Paulo Martinello, I think we've had them featured something here or there from them before. No, I love this page, and every time I see any Dylan Dog stuff, I'm like, doggone it, I gotta read it. I gotta
It's
find stuff.
it's the best of the best, man. They're either working on Tex or they're working on Dylan Dog, I feel like, over there.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
oddly, the Ducks.
I'm just writing it down, and hopefully it'll force me to like go over to Amazon and find some trade or something. Get me off my rear end. Antoine said he looked up the Jonah Hex cover, and there is more at the top. I guess
Okay.
and that would kind of make sense. I mean, even if it was just the end of the gun and the grave kind of going off the edge or something. Weird layout, says Chuck Arnold. Well, it's
Chuck,
weird, but okay.
get your head out of Chaikin land.
Uh-huh. Oh man. Where are we going to here? Fourth pick of this one. Now this one is in was it in? Yeah, it was Seamus. I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure of that. So it is Seamus's calf. Didn't put a like on this one yet. Segovia. I know you're a fan of Segovia. So
Absolutely. And it's not typical to see something this clean, like this just open and like really neatly, nicely rendered, perfectly drafted. Everybody is like wedged together perfectly to be like highlighted in in their own way. It's characterful, like, the characters are all doing something that you would kind of associate with them pose wise or, in motion. Wolvie gets that extra little bit of like rendering attention that is closer to what I feel like we normally associate with Segovia. But yeah, I like this more open kind of, clean, bordering on maybe towards like Dan Mora, what he's doing. But sure. I think it's perfect for the characters. It's great for a team shot. And in this case, it's for X-Men 97, which is based on the cartoon. So I feel like it's even more appropriate here.
Yeah, I really like how he's treating the characters in the background versus putting the extra on Wolverine. I mean, just handling Storm like that in the background and whatever. It's just lighter. Jubilee, it's just well done. Rogue, I mean, he's drawing your attention where he wants to, but the Wolverine, just kind of wins it. And those are kind of curved claws, though. Jason I don't think would approve of that.
He likes the Paul Smith, like the little daggers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I saw somebody said it looks like, Antoine said kind of like a Nolan Inks a little bit. I can see.
I agree with Rich. There's a Stuart Immonen feel to this. For sure.
Immonen too. Yeah. Nope. Yep. You're right. Wowie, says Black Viper Adorn. Yeah, exactly. You should be happy, Black Viper. Look at that. And because I picked a second piece of yours, believe it or not. Yep, I did.
Hey, wait, do we get to see what Seamus looks like?
No, that's no.
Okay.
That's the artist, right? Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Oh, he's got a lot of art hanging on the wall. Look at that. What do we got on the back wall there? That's
he did I think maybe this week or last week, he redid his office space and he was showing like photos of his office on Instagram. He's got a lot of art up in there. It's pretty awesome.
Clearly, yeah, look at that. Huh. That's wonderful, man. Artists appreciating other artists. But yeah, the composition on this piece is it's really filling the whole image, and it's done so darn well. Yeah, I love that. Well, congrats, Seamus, or Black Viper of Dorn, as you're known in the chat. Let's see here. Oh, Matt's I don't think Matt is coming to OAX, but I know that I saw him order some commissions, so he must have somebody picking them up for him. I don't believe he's going to be there.
I'd like to meet Matt. That's too bad.
I would too. I've actually I've sent him a few emails to ask if he'd like to do an interview sometime, and I actually he never replies to me. So I'll just keep pestering him. But because I know he's got a really good collection. I've seen a few things that he's posted, and he's really, really knowledgeable. I mean, everything I've seen. So yeah.
And his taste is like a little off the beaten path, maybe for a lot of us, illustrators versus, comic artists in a lot of cases, this being one of them. But I love that this is basically made up of like little masses. It's all about shapes here. it's very soft. And so like, I think that the shapes are like in an odd way, even more effective, because if you use these shapes and this was more stark, they would come off as shapes as opposed to like, little lighting elements and, little like the band being wound around her hands and her arm. I think it has to be this soft in order to be this effective because of how graphic it is.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot for all the same reasons. It was fun just looking at the shapes, like you said, the way he's handling the lighting around her nose, on her cheek.
Mhm.
To yeah, it was cool. I mean, I kept going. I looked at it for a while because it's just appealing in a way that we don't really get from regular comic book art. I mean, it's clear, it's a
Yeah.
straight illustration, and Gary Kelly. Yeah, like you said, Matt has. I'm just curious, what are we gonna find? Well, a few pieces. Are they all in Matt's calf gallery? Nope. There's a George. Look at that, George Pratt.
Hey.
Another one by Matt, DJ Peters. So they're okay. So not super well collected, but a few. But a few. I don't feel like I saw this Gary Kelly piece by. Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
That is nice, man. George has a pretty nice collection. Wow.
Very cool.
That is moody. Well, there you go. Congrats to Matt on his acquisition of that one. Now, where are we going after this? Raj Patel. Oh yeah, this thing glows.
That's why I
Aaron
picked it.
Campbell. Well, do you know why it glows? I mean, did you see the interview I did with Aaron on Saturday?
No, I was away.
Yeah, I mean, he uses like bleach and lighter fluid,
Really?
and yeah, and I kind of fibbed a little bit when we did the show because he was talking about his methods that he uses, and
Yeah.
so he really does use bleach to kind of get these highlights and to dilute the inks and other he just plays around with it, and he's got the technique
Hmm.
works. But when I opened his package, I was like, okay, that sounds terrible. When I opened the artworks, they were bagged. So and they came. So when I opened up the bag, and there was a smell that I could not identify. But now I know what it was. It was
There you
a
go.
mix of lighter fluid and bleach. So it was a smell I've not ever
Well,
smelled
I've
before.
been around a lot of art materials in my day, but I have never heard of bleach being used. A lighter fluid I have actually, but not bleach. Well,
Exactly.
it checks out. I mean, if this is the end result, I mean, can you imagine how badass this thing would look on your wall?
Yeah. Oh no, I've still got his art here. Every piece that was ordered is getting delivered at OAX. They're very, very striking.
Yeah.
Uh, I would never have guessed that was part of that those are the tools in his tool chest, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, he was trained to be like a fine art painter. So he
Right.
underneath Donato Giancola was his
Oh,
instructor at School of Visual Arts in New York, and
wow.
so I don't think Donato taught him the the lighter fluid
Well,
and bleach
maybe.
techniques. But maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe he did. But the thing is, but that's his background is more fine art. So he's
Yeah.
approaching doing comic illustrations in a way that kind of just fits his educational background. So
Well,
um,
I picked this just based on the lighting to be, to
mhm.
be perfectly frank. It's incredibly tightly rendered. I mean, no slight to what else is going on, but that is such an eerie and like incredible effect that he gets through, with the lighting through the windows. And, if you've been in this type of atmosphere, it's it's almost photorealistic.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is gorgeous. When I saw it, I didn't see it until you sent me the pics, but it's so striking. The
Yeah.
lighting through the windows, through the door, reflected off the mirror. I mean,
Hmm.
it's beautiful. So,
Yeah.
and Aaron was a really nice guy. I mean, I'd love to. I had to do like a joint two artist interview, but it would have been fun to do separate ones with those guys because I would have liked to
Yeah.
have just gotten a little bit more background on Aaron in his kind of in his fine art upbringing, just to and maybe to get some anecdotal stories about Donato. 'Cause
Right.
I've met Donato many times, but we've never really had the chance to talk. So talking to somebody who was a student for a year would be pretty cool. Was it from a comic? Yes, it is from Hellblazer: Dead in America, and Newell actually picked up a page from this. I think issue 13 was the last one, and there's still another one in my calf gallery too. But they're they're cool. They're
Yeah.
very, very interesting. And a lot of people who were and of course I haven't read it, but people in the chat who knew Aaron and have been reading it were like, it's some of Aaron's best work and some of the best Hellblazer work in a long time.
That's hard to argue. Yeah.
Let's see here. Where are we going to from here? Did we ever pick this image before?
You know what? I had a brief, I kind of
Did you have a
felt
little
like,
deja
yes,
vu?
yeah,
Me
but
too.
I picked it anyway.
Well, I mean, it's a one, for me, Burn FF is,
Yeah.
I was buying these off the shelves, so much fun. But is it because of the thing, or is it because of the composition, or what drove you
All of
back to
it,
this piece?
all of it.
All of
I
it.
mean, it's a Burn FF cover. So, when one of these gets posted, it's kind of a little party unto itself. So
Mhm.
there was that. But yeah, I mean, it's awesome. What do you even say about this? It's a Burn FF cover.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to have one.
Yeah.
I always liked the way he drew Johnny. I don't know why he drew all the characters great.
Me too. It actually kind of like, if I see a different version of the Human Torch, I invariably, whether consciously, subconsciously, whatever, compare it to Burns' version. And maybe a little bit the Thing too, but
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a great pick, says Chuck Arnold. Well, he
yeah,
approves.
of course.
It's not Mike Mignola, so it's all right. But he's no Frank Whiteley, right, Chuck? All right. Where am I going to here with this? Arango. What did Arango? Oh, that's right.
This
Jim
is ridiculous.
Imparo. Now, what is this? What's the medium on this thing?
Airbrush.
Is it all airbrush? Really?
No, not all of it, but there's airbrush happening here for
It's
sure.
got to be, right? Wow. I remember it was a bit. Oh, it's a huge scan. Whoa.
Yeah.
How does Aranga do this? He needs to write a book, or maybe we what we do is we sit Aranga down and he can do like 5-minute segments about how to scout and coerce artists to do their best work for you.
Yeah. I mean, he has a definite knack for, well, he basically, I mean, obviously he loves Cable. He loves Ghost Rider. Like, he has a wheelhouse, right, for the characters that he picks. I feel like it's more, I would like to think, I don't know for sure, I haven't asked him, but maybe I will at OAX. I feel like what I do is I look for artists that I know are going to be good for the character versus characters that the artist will draw well. And I feel like when you think like that, you get stuff like this, because you go in kind of knowing stylistically like what is a little bit of what is going to be produced. But then I also feel like Aranga has a way of, I don't know if it's like a mutual respect or whatever, because he's a fellow artist or whatever it might be. I do feel like artists go all out for him. And then you
They
get
do.
something like this.
Yeah, I mean, that gunmetal color is unbelievably good. I mean, look at that. Doggone. Man, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a talk with Aranga.
I love the the manga influence on this too. I mean, it has a, kind of the same like Joe Mad vibe, but a little techier, I mean, Cable's massive here, which I think always works for Cable. Yeah, I was blown away when I saw this.
Well, congrats to Aranga. Man, you're right. I mean, he's like 12 heads tall. That's okay.
Well, he's
right?
also like 8 heads wide.
Yeah, that is true. It's going to be called the Aranga influence going forward. Okay. Yeah, it's something. We just need to figure out what it is. All right. So this was your George Pratt pick. Who is this? Oh, Nicholas. How do you pronounce the last name though? DeCreasy. Okay.
I had not heard of the artist before.
Okay, me neither. But boy, that blood orange color is crazy.
That like vermilion or like crimson. So the reason I picked this in the first place was because it kind of reminds me of like a Caravaggio painting, because he had that same knack of like, I'm gonna put this element in here that is like the reddest red you've ever seen in your life, and everything else is kind of like probably warm, but like that red is gonna like pop you in the eye. This has that going for it. So that's initially, I think, what drew me to it. But the more I looked at it, the more I liked the geometry of everything. Like there's a lot, again, shapes. Like it's all very angular, it's graphic, but at the same time, like it's creepy, it's weird. I mean, it's just got a lot going for it. And then on top of it, I think, like I said before, the palette is unreal.
Yeah, I mean the structure of the page with that panel layout is very rigid, and then
Mhm.
he's throwing in, the shape of the hat. You're right. I mean, he's got a lot of interesting approaches to the design of this page. I mean, even down to the word balloons. I mean, they're mirroring the hat shape. I mean, there's a lot of, yeah. The more I'm looking at it, the more I want to see this piece of art in person now.
Yeah.
Um, but what is it all around? The gruesome face in the center panel that's so well highlighted because of the panel layout, right?
Yeah.
Wow, dang, that's awesome. Does Pratt write anything about his stuff? I don't know. Page from no, don't know anything about it. Okay, I have to find out. Are we going to see other artwork or not? 36 pieces, huh?
Hmm.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave that tab open and come back to it later. Huh, I'm not familiar, but all right. So where are we going to? I know what this piece is. Gene Park, who will be at OAX. I had picked this piece for the show graphic. I mean, one of us had to talk about it because it's
Yeah.
so damn awesome.
Iconic image of Bond.
Mm-hmm.
And like the likeness, I mean, like this is so moment in time. Like it is so evocative of this period. Like, everything that was happening in illustration, movie poster art, men's magazines. I mean, yada, 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 right? This is it. This is what that's all like pinned on. And I love the realism. I love Bond's expression. I mean, this is just such an incredible, absolutely amazing piece of art to me.
Yeah, no, I was smitten by it the moment I saw it. I mean, it's the brickwork, in the street, the lighting, the woman who wishes Bond took her with him. You name it.
Only
I
room
mean,
for one on that jetpack, baby.
exactly. I mean, there's barely room for one. I can't believe his shoes aren't on fire, but it don't matter. It's so, and really kind of the striking stonework. The color
Mhm.
differences between the yellow on the brick road to the granite-ish, white granite-ish kind of in the
The
wall there.
mosaic almost, yeah,
Yeah,
coloration.
I mean it's. I'm jealous because I love artwork like this, and this is from this era. I mean, damn.
Even the fact that like he's breaking the panel, right?
Mm.
I mean, just that alone makes this so perfect.
Yeah, no, the more I look at it, I mean, you think of it, the skin tone on Bond is an orange for crying out loud.
Mhm.
It's almost like it shouldn't work, but it works. It mirrors off the flames behind him, and it's
Yeah,
echoed in that upper left-hand corner. I mean, yeah, this thing is
yeah,
Gene Park, lucky man. He's got an
yeah.
amazing art collection, and I could talk. He could do like 3 or 4 shows. He's got a lot of art, and it's
Mhm.
all great.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was your pick, so I can do mine now. I showed this one earlier. This is, of course, in Bill J's collection. Bill J always starts the year out with an incredible cover. It's already got 69 comments on it. I guarantee it'll probably have 100 by summer, and he'll end up with one of the most commented pieces on CAF in 2025. He has a knack for
Bill
just.
J.
Yeah, he is. I mean, right? Hasn't he won like the last 2 years? We gave out a most commented piece of the year award, and it's been him. He had like that one
Probably.
he was Uncanny X-Men 114 cover a couple years back, and I don't remember what it was last year. But either way, I mean, the man is charmed, but he has a
Mhm.
wonderful eye and a great collection. So yeah, this one, I think I talked about this a couple of years ago. For me, it's one of the more memorable Thor covers for me for a lot of reasons, even though Thor really isn't on it. The colors on this thing, I think he's got a printed version of it. Yeah, I mean, I just think this is like classic Marvel from the era. Look at that freaking red. You got Doom
Green.
there. Yeah, I mean, this is this is hot. This is everything that
Yeah.
DC wasn't at that point in time. I wasn't even buying. I wasn't buying these off the shelves, everybody. But yeah, I love this cover a lot. It's just it's storytelling. It's Marvel. It's everything It's Don Blake.
I
Uh,
always liked how big he drew Doctor Doom.
Mm.
Like Doctor Doom, when it, like the armor was like chunkier and the cloak was bigger and the all that kind of stuff, like it made Doom so much more menacing to me that he was literally like large, right? Like look at the size of those mitts.
Yeah. Yeah, that is crazy. Oh man. All right. Well, congrats to Bill J on that one. Then Tom Coker. Coker posted
Oh,
some crazy stuff this week.
yeah.
I had picked one thing by him. Can't remember which one it was. But then I saw this one. I'm like, oh, I like this one better. And I
Mhm.
like the other one a lot. But this thing, again, I mean, it's wood, obviously, but just the level of detail in the spacesuit to the planet surface to the
The star
lettering.
field.
Right. This exactly. I mean, this thing this belongs in a museum. It
This
literally
is
does.
whatever you could want, aside from like a hot woman, I guess. But like as far as Wally Wood is
Oh,
concerned, this has got it.
yeah, that's right. Rick Welch remembers. It was the Wrightson that was the other piece. I had
Yeah,
picked the Wrightson because it was so freaking incredible. And then I came to this, and I hate to say it, I like this one a little bit more than
I
that
get it.
Wrightson.
I get it.
Yeah, I have. This is exactly if you're. Oh shoot! Now that made my screen gigantic. There we go. That's better. Uh, let's see. I mean, it's just everything you'd want in a wood from this period. And oh man, shoot, this thing is freaking great.
Yeah, gorgeous.
And Wally's middle name was not Sucks. I'm just telling you that right now.
It was got.
It's God. Yeah, exactly. Oh shoot. All right. Well, congrats to Coker. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's always had these and he just decided to show them or whatever. Bottom line is Tom will be at OAX next weekend. He'll be set up with Jeff Singh again in the collector alleyway. So for those of you going, you can morning his middle name was born. Okay, I like that one too. Chris already got his lol in there. Thank you. All right. Where are we going to from this one? Whose cap gallery was this? I didn't
Ooh,
check. Oh, FM. I thought this was cool. We've seen a few Lytle colored pieces from the early 80s. I know we've seen a few, and it's just I don't know. So I saw this one, and I was reminded of a few other pieces that I've seen by Lytle, and it's that era of Perez working on Titans and
yep.
really bright colors, and I liked it. I was just like, shoot, this is because how often are we going to see pieces like this from that era that are colored and still seem as vibrant as the day they were probably done?
True.
There probably aren't that many of them, and this one holds up.
I really liked this like more straight up and down super heroic version of the Doom Patrol too, I have to say.
Yeah. No, this is great. And Antoine said he was thinking Perez. No, I mean this. Yeah, you can see it. And maybe I would have thought
For
Perez
sure.
just from the characters initially,
Right.
but yeah, this is a great piece. So congrats to FM for that one. I don't know why I didn't like that one already in the app. I should have done that. All right, so here's my George Pratt. I picked it in part. I got to see this one in person.
Ooh,
So
cool.
he brought it by the house, and I mean, does he list the size on here? It's like 12 by 18, so it's not. This isn't like a 6 by 9,
Right.
like we're used to seeing,
Napkin.
or I should say a 1 by 2
Yep.
ink drawing. This is a fully rendered in pencil. How often do you see anything like this ever? Piece by Frank Frazetta, and I remember it needed to get some work done. It was done on a board. It had like he'd used wax in some way to kind of like seal it or something. I remember that Alexandra had to do some work on it to kind of clean it up and deacidify it. But I mean, man, it's cool. It was just so cool to see something like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So this is just one of the many pieces that Pratt posted that Von Hocht, yeah, that we were all oohing and ahhing over. I hope George. I mean, who knows if I assume he probably got a lot of comments. I hope he got a lot of emails, and that hope that made him very happy because he has an amazing collection.
Oh, unreal.
Yeah. So anybody that's going to OAX, George will be in the IAX hall. So he won't be in the main show. He'll be set up with Jim Martin. So make sure you just swing by there and tell him thank you for posting the art. Hopefully I'm sure he's got a lot more that he can post. So again, that would be one of the themes that I was going to remind people about, going to OAX. It's just, this is our opportunity to thank some of the creators who utilize the site, Pratt being one of them. So yeah, do that.
It's growing. Like I'm noticing all kinds of like pros posting their own collection, not just their work, but like the stuff that they collect.
Right. Exactly. No, it's been, I can't say it's the app or whatever it is, but I think CAF has kind of turned a corner where people are seeing the value in it and seeing, and again, a lot of people are turning away from X and Facebook and platforms that don't generate any valuable leads. And I think CAF is going to present itself as a resource for artists in a lot of ways. And um, I think we're going to see a lot more of that. What should I do, Rob? More should utilize it for their art sales. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, I
Well, one
agree.
thing I know about artists is that they like to talk about art, so it's a good spot to do that.
That is very true. You might be seeing we might have a an OAX related spot that we're going to be able to show that we didn't film with an artist talking about art and how they love art and how awesome they think OAX and other things are. We'll see.
Cool.
This was from The Art of Tim Sale. I think was there a cover photograph, something like that in here too. Let me see what Ollie posted. Oh yeah, that's right. Drawing heroes in the background. We all love Tim Sale, and Ollie's got a pretty decent collection. Ollie's not premium, unfortunately, so we don't get the most largest of scans, but this one still works out good because we resize on the height, not the width. So it's still 800 tall, but we get something that's almost 1500 wide probably here. So it feels better. But I just love that. I love the jungle in the background. I mean, it's back to like your comments about the one piece earlier, just all shapes, right? Just little splotchy shapes that just work. They give us just enough hint of a jungle, and we focus on the character and the panther.
I love the atonal stuff too, like the negative space to like put everything in its place is really nicely done.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. So very, very nice piece here. Congrats to Ollie on that one. I think he posted a few other pieces this week I could have chosen, but that's the one I got. Then Newell was so happy when he got this. I had to pick this because I knew there was a sheer level of joy that Newell was experiencing when he got this piece. I mean, I know that the Hildebrandt is his number one in his collection, always will be. When his house is on fire, that's the piece taken off the wall and running with first. But the man loves Stingray, and how often are you going to get a piece like this that let's see.
I have to say, so for somebody who is like not totally, but like largely one character focused, there's a lot of people that collect the Thing or the Fantastic Four or whatever. Stingray, if I see a Stingray image, I know who it belongs to on CAF.
Right. There aren't going to be many owned by other people, but no, I love it. And so this is a fun piece. It's a published, is it card art? I forget. Is that what that was from? Yeah, it was some, what's it? Yeah, card 169. And I think like this was probably, what's that?
Nothing.
Okay. Sorry.
You said the magic number.
Oh, okay. There we go. This is published. So yeah, Stingray's shouting in the chat. So everybody, card art. Yes, and I think that what was it? Bella is a Racklin, right? They had posted. I think there was a whole bunch of stuff. Everybody, it was like a feeding frenzy on the card art. So Stingray lucked out that he got one. Next up, I have a piece of mystery sketch art. I just thought it was fun, and I don't remember the requests coming through, but a Psylocke and Rogue. I think I joked about this one. Getting two characters in one, into one mystery sketch. Yeah, Jason Krager from TD Art Gallery. Jason's a fun guy. I've interviewed him. I think I had him on 2 different times for like brief interviews during Comic Art Live. But so I thought this was fun. I thought it was a fun way to get 2 characters out of one mystery sketch.
For sure.
No fooling, yeah, sugar. All right, it's on A3 board. You're still talking about that card art, Stingray. You should bring that to the OAX and show it off to everybody. And, just like everybody else, I think I've been seeing that there's a Facebook group out there that's of people going to OAX, and I think Tim Guerrero posted on there something saying that everybody should bring their portfolio. Was it Thursday night? They're all trying to get advanced looks at what everybody else is bringing, even before the show starts. Like they're angling for get-togethers. So, but that's good. That's what it's like.
They're gonna happen.
right. You don't know you don't really know how people are going to utilize their time and on CAF. Or same things happen at OAX. It's like they see
Yep.
it as an opportunity to do this, that, and the other. And hey, that's cool, man. Do what you want. Do a swap meet in the in the lobby at 2 a.m. on Friday night if that's your thing. It's
The
whatever you want to make of it.
My
Yeah.
takeaway from year one was, in spite of the absolutely insane amount of art that I saw, I walked away and thought I didn't see enough art. It's
I love
just
that.
like
We gotta get you on film saying that, Chris.
it's crazy.
That is
And
that
like
that is
people are
wonderful.
walking around with portfolios and they're like, yeah, do you want to sit down and look at it? And I'm like, yeah, hell yes, I do. I mean, yeah.
Well, we're definitely going to strategically place a few more, high tables around as best we can, so that those types of occurrences can happen and not have to be kneeling on the floor or whatever. The
Mhm.
lounge will be heavily promoted, so you know where it's at, and yeah, yeah. But that's great to hear, though, and it's true. I would have to think so because the thing that was, and I heard that from everybody, was you really didn't get the chance to go to every artist, every
Nope.
exhibitor there, so you knew there was things that you missed out on. It was impossible to see it all. And we have
Absolutely
more
true.
exhibitors this time. So it's going to be even worse. Let's see here. What are the next couple pieces I got? We can wrap this show up tonight. I still have 5 more. How is that possible? All right. Well, I
Rip
didn't
'em.
get my like on here. So here's my piece from Seamus.
Hey.
Nathan Beer, and who's I just thought the illustration was really cool. I love the I don't want to say it, the complex colors that were used, but I just think it's fun. There's
Yeah.
oranges and reds and blues and golds, and uh, I just thought it was really well done. And you get a little Florida
It's dense, but it's pretty tight too.
It is. It is. I mean, I just keep looking around and around. I mean, her hair
Mhm.
interests me. I mean, whatever the sword. I mean, I just keep going around on this piece and loving every bit of it. It could be a 9 by 12 illustration or on 12 by 18. It doesn't matter. It's just so gorgeous. I mean, I loved it from the moment I saw it. It was one of the first pieces I picked, and then I thought you pick one from, and I was like, screw it, I'm keeping it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kiss me and I'll turn into a thunder god. Rick Welch. We need this man to do an interview one day. We need this man to make it to OAX. He could do a stand-up routine.
Yeah.
And yeah, Rick, we love you. Do another flip for us, Rick. That way we can hear your voice. We can see you talk about the artwork you love. If we don't ever get to do an interview, at least we've got the flips that you've done.
Bite
So
size.
yes. So there you go, Dave. Yeah, I think we've covered Seamus for the next 2 months at least. Then this is in Tom McDonald's calf. Pat Roderick, he calls this the greatest Green Lantern ever. I like Pat's stuff. I mean, and he showed me some. He's going to be at OAX. He showed me some pencil stuff that he's done recently, and Pat's still got it. He's
Mhm.
I wasn't like maybe just because of the titles he worked on, I wasn't really familiar with his work when I was buying comics. But I look at his style now. I love the line work. I love the quality of the line. His compositions are great. There's a lot to enjoy here in his stuff. So
It's he maintains a feel, right? Like all of his work has a tone, and it's the same tone, which is not, that's not a slight, that's a compliment. Like, when you see his stuff, and he's not stretching to do something that is uncharacteristic. It's very consistent. And I think in a professional artist, I think that's an admirable trait.
Yeah. No, this is a good one. So congrats to Mr. McDonald, who will be at OAX as well, for picking this one up. But the greatest Green Lantern ever. Right? That's like a Mike Berkey title, I think, right there. But that's okay, Tom.
Are you kidding me?
Exactly. That you need to put that in how many comments? You got to throw an "Are you kidding me" in there.
Yeah.
All right. He needs one. All right. Well, congrats, Tom. All right, 3 more. Maybe not. Maybe it's not even 3 more. No, it's not. It's only 2 more. All right. No, it's actually, this is the last one, as a matter of fact. I don't know how I ended up with 2 extra tabs. Anyway, this is in Mickey's Calf Gallery. M. Schwiller. Emshwiller is someone that Sarah Jane talks about a lot. She loves Emshwiller's work. And, I came across this and I'm like, I like this. This is just compositionally, it's a cool piece. I like it. And again, it's an artist that we only seem to talk about when Sarah Jane's on the show with us, who will be at OAX, by the way, as will Mickey. Emshwiller will not be there, of course, but no, it's cool. I mean, I love this era of illustration and science fiction, and there's some rolling dice on there. I mean, I'm surprised Anthony didn't see this. It's like craps right in front of him.
Yeah.
But and
the guy's losing all of his money too.
I think his wedding ring fell off too. Look at that.
Oh,
right there.
Uh-oh.
He's in trouble. So, but no, I love this.
This is great.
Yeah, that's right. They're sharing. Oh, brother. And I think that's Lou Ferrigno. Didn't Sharon and Lou Ferrigno have some moment at a show? I don't know. Anthony likes to talk about all crazy stuff. Anyway, I thought this was fun. And look at it. I mean, it's Ziff Davis Group. I mean, just this, the handwriting on this thing. It's just a cool piece of art.
It is really cool. I love the like swirly fingerprint effect happening in the background everywhere.
Yeah.
And when you think about how incredibly difficult it was to illustrate that with traditional tools, you respect it even more.
I mean, look at that. That's almost like an old, like rubber stamped printing appearance on this page. That's wild. Yeah. I mean, maybe it faded a little bit, but that's kind of cool. Huh.
I wondered that too, Antoine. I don't think it is though. Is it scratch board?
Now let's see. He does not mention. He says pen and ink. I think it's got to be pen and ink too. Yeah, it's got to be because
you wouldn't have that stuff around the periphery of the illustration if it was scratch board,
right?
The smudging and the yeah.
But great piece. And if Sarah Jane were making picks tonight, she would have picked this one too. Oh man, but Mickey, he continues to impress me, right? I mean, we always see lots of Legion stuff come up, but he always surprises with something at least once a week that is out of the ordinary. Yeah, and I like that. I mean, he has a diverse collection that I think he'll be able to post a piece of art for the next 20 years and still not have gotten through his entire collection.
That's crazy, and I love it.
Yeah, no Zipatone on that one, Mark Walters. It's all that one is all pen and ink from the amazing. I don't want to spell it. What was I always forget his first name. Ed Emshwiller. Edward Emshwiller. So only 6 comments on that one too. We got to get a few more on there for Mickey. But we made it, man. A little over 2 hours, but yeah, exactly. So remind me, when do you get in?
Wednesday evening.
Okay.
Wait. Thursday morning? Hold on. One moment, please.
I will be there Wednesday. For those of you who are going to be there early, I will probably be getting there
Thursday early afternoon.
Okay. Well, I'll look for you. We have we'll see. The hall setup starts Thursday evening. They're telling us like 6 o'clock. We're going to try to get into some of the rooms earlier than that. Just as far as the booths, construction, the exhibitor setup doesn't start until Friday morning. But I at least want to kind of see what they're doing. We're having one of the rental companies is bringing in pro panels and things, so we didn't use that last year.
Nice.
I kind of want to see how that's going to get set up because we're using that for the galleries this year. So presentation, we wanted to up our game in the gallery rooms. Pro panels are they look slick. They look like nice. You know what you're doing. Yeah, they're nice, and we found a local guy that rents them. And he so couldn't be better. But that's going to happen on Thursday, so I'll be around.
Like I said, Thursday evening, if you guys want help or whatever, just holler. I might be a little drunk by then, but
we'll find a job where you can carry things that aren't fragile.
That's when I'm at my best anyway.
But no, that'd be great. A lot, and obviously anybody that's in town, just look around. You'll be able to find me. I'll probably be running in and out of the lobby, Soul Casper. But I know a lot of people have said they're willing to help out, and I would imagine that we could use a hand or two in different places. So please look us up. But Chris, 1 week, man.
Thanks, buddy. I'm looking forward to it.
Back up here in about 7 days
from now.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, man. I'll see you soon.
See everybody.
Bye. All right. Well, I've got what do I got here? After the show, I'm going to upgrade George Pratt to premium, and I'm going to go over to Amazon and see if I can find a Dylan Dog trade paperback to pick up. So I have some stuff to read because I'm a clear loser for never picking anything up from Dylan Dog. But yeah, it's almost here. OAX, no shows until OAX is over, and then I can guarantee you we'll probably be talking a lot about the show and talking about the third show in 2026 because there's just so many things happening around here. But boy, I'm looking forward to it. I know everybody else in the chat is as well. There's going to be a lot of PR, a lot of smaller announcements coming over the next several days. So you'll probably get, I wouldn't say you're going to get an email every day about OAX, but it'll probably be fairly close. And but all well worth it. And I know everybody's looking for the program announcement for program guide posting. I'd say that'll happen. It'll be early next week, so we can get that to you. As soon as we have something approved, I would imagine we'll release it to like the Facebook group that's been out there for a while talking about OAX, or something we send out directly to the paid attendees already. But either way, excited. I can't tell you. The whole team is, we worked so hard on this, from Kazra, Tatiana, even Matt coming on to Matt Sardo. And, we've all just been busting our hump on this. And we're excited to present OAX the second time in a week. And it's going to be great to see everybody. And I would encourage, if I've not met you, please introduce yourself at OAX and do the same for the rest of the staff on CAF. I mean, it's good to be able to put a face to a name that we see in the chat or that we've emailed with before. And don't be shy. Please come up and talk to us. And it's going to be a wonderful weekend. I can't wait to see everybody. I'll see you at OAX in about a week. All right.